Good evening, basketball fans. We'll be getting the broadcast started in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. And a very pleasant good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com. We're coming to you live from Henley High School as the 5th seed Henley Lady Hornets get ready to take on the 12th seed Scappoose Indians. Pleasure to be with you, everybody. My name is Josh Eldridge. It is a fine afternoon on a snowy day in Klamath Falls as the Hornets get ready to host the Indians. A doubleheader this afternoon here at Henley High School. Later on, we'll have the boys matching up with Astoria, but it should be a great one here for this girls contest. Each team warming up on the floor right now. As we continue your pre-game coverage today, we're going to take a look at the bracket from the 4A girls tournament so far. A few games wrapping up last night and a handful of upsets. So even though the Hornets come in as the 5th seed and the 5th ranked team in the state, they can't rest on their laurels. They're going to have to play hard against the Indians tonight, or this afternoon rather, at Henley High School. So coming up, we'll take a look at the brackets as well as the seasons each of these two teams have had leading up to this moment in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoff on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. Often better than ever, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So throw it here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to Henley High School, the site of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoff. On mybasin.com, the Lady Hornets getting ready to take on the Scappoose Indians as we take a look now at the bracket that has played out so far in the 4A. Of course, both of these teams looking forward to potentially playing on March 9th up at Forest Grove High School. Again, a few teams have already punched their ticket. Let's start from the top as Baker took care of business against Klamath Union in the 1 versus 16 matchup as the Bulldogs took care of the Pelicans 56-36, and they have advanced to take on the 9 seed Madras in the first game of the day at Vikings Gym up north, as Madras, actually the 9 seed, upset 8 seed Cascade 50-41. That was one of 3 upsets so far in the opening round. And as we take a look down the bracket, we also see that Marshfield is awaiting the winner of this game after they took care of business against Malala 48-37. That was the 4th seed beating the 13 seed. Now, as we move to the other side of the bracket here, we see 2 more upsets. We'll start with 11 seed Crook County edging out LeGrand 39-38. The 11 seed beating the 6 seed. Those Cowboys getting ready to take on either Mazama or Astoria. That game begins in about an hour. We'll try to give you score updates as we continue this afternoon. That's the only other game besides ours here today that is yet to be played. As we move along, another upset as 10 seed Philomath beat Marist 46-39. Marist, a common opponent for each of these 2 teams today. Each of these 2 teams picking up wins against the Spartans as well. Talking about Scappoose and Henley, of course. But to be sure, the Warriors have beat Marist. They are in the tournament. They'll take on Gladstone as the 2 seed beat 15 seed Junction City 69-36. So again, 2 matchups are set for March 9th. Gladstone, the 2 seed, taking on 10 seed Philomath. That'll be the last game of the evening. And then Baker taking on Madras. That's the 1 seed versus the 9 seed on Thursday at 1:30. Up north now, we're just waiting to see who of these 2 teams tonight between Henley and Scappoose are playing Marshfield. That'll be at 3:15 on Thursday. And then we're also waiting to see who Crook County will play, whether it's the Mazama Vikings from the Skyline Conference, also just a couple miles up the road from here at Henley High School, or the Astoria Fishermen, who is the 3rd seed in the state. Lots of exciting action happening in the 4A bracket. Of course, you can see it for yourself if you visit osaa.org and find yourself looking for 4A girls basketball. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Tournament continues next in just a bit. After this quick break, we're going to take a look at the seasons that each of these 2 teams have had to lead them to this point. Don't go anywhere. Stick it here on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Sports with
what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And we welcome you back to Henley High School, the site of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Playoffs. Of course, if you're joining us from anywhere in the state, appreciate you being with us on mybasin.com for tonight's broadcast. Anywhere you are, if you're a fan of Scappoose, appreciate you being with us. Of course, they call it the Hornets' Nest here at Henley High School, and we are getting ready for this matchup. Of course, the Hornets were winners of the Skyline Conference. Scappoose finishing out of the Kawapa League. Let's take a look at the season that Scappoose has had so far. First, by looking at where they finished in that Kawapa League, just a couple of games back of Astoria. They finished 16-9 overall, 9-3 in league play, behind Astoria, who finished 12-0, 23-2 on the season. They're the third-ranked team in the state. Seaside finished third in the Kawapa League, followed by St. Helens, then Tillamook to round out that conference. Meantime, for the Lady Hornets, they went on an absolute tear at the end of the season, clinching the Skyline Conference with a 16-8 overall record, 7-1 in league play. And for Henley, they won their last 7 straight games. Their last loss was on January 20th on the road against Mazama. Since then, the Hornets have been all but perfect and find themselves here with a home playoff game tonight. For Scappoose, they're on a little bit of a winning streak as well. 4 straight wins for them. As a matter of fact, that's 7 wins out of their last 8 games. Their one loss coming to Astoria, their last loss on February 7th. So each of these teams on a bit of a hot streak as we enter the ball game tonight, as it is the 5th seed Henley Hornets taking on the 12th ranked Scappoose Indians. We're going to take one more break on the pregame show. When we come back, it'll time to meet the starting 5 and, of course, tip-off this afternoon on mybasin.com. You've got the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union Playoffs for 4A Girls Basketball.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches, schools, and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Appreciate you being with us on mybasin.com as we get ready now for the playing of the national anthem. All right, it seems like we are just about ready to meet the starting five tonight here at Henley High School, or this afternoon. So glad that you're with us from wherever you're watching in the state of Oregon. And we're meeting the starting five first from the Scappoose Indians. Let's start at the top. Number 2, Addie Stoddard. Number 5, Peyton Lennox. Number 12, Anna Ross. Number 23, Sydney Leo. And number 24, Ellie Miller. Your starting five for the Scappoose Indians. And as they turn the lights out here at Henley High School, it is time now to meet the starting five for the Henley Hornets.
And now, here are your Henley Hornets.
Let's start with number 11, the senior Holly Parker. Number 12, a junior Maya Mock. Number 15, a junior Annie Campos. Number 22, a sophomore Anna Harper. And number 24, it's Jewel Northcutt.
Checking in for Henley, number 4, Lily Cell. Checking in for Henley, number 1, Kennedy Modine. For Scappoose, number 0, Ava Vetch.
All right, we appreciate you bearing with us through some short technical difficulties as we're back with you at Henley High School. As the score is 5-4 with Scappoose in the lead. And jogging up the floor, taking a shot and nailing it was Addie Stoddard. She's got 4 points tonight and 6 for her team, or pardon me, 7 for her team now. As Scappoose leads 7-4. Now it looked like a double dribble picked up from Scappoose. Annie Campos inbounds to Kennedy Modine, who's checked into the game for the Hornets. Trying to bounce it over to Fussell, driving in on the right side. Fussell tied up down low by Leo. Leo trying to get it down low to Campos. A loose ball underneath the basket. And a foul. It's going to be possession Hornets. As we come out, 7-4 Scappoose. There's 4:40 left to go in the first quarter. And again, we appreciate you kind of sticking with us for just a moment as we are back on mybasin.com. It's the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs, and the Hornets are set to inbound as Anna Harper finds Kennedy Modine on the near side. Modine puts it on the deck, driving inside. A shot from 14 is good. Kennedy Modine with her first 2 points of the night brings the Hornets back within 1. It's now 7-6 Indians. Kick outside to Stoddard. She fires a triple, bounces off the back of the rim, no good. The rebound snagged by Ross. Ross kicks it out over to Lennox. Now to Stoddard. Stoddard trying to dribble against Campos. Shot taken on the far side by Leo, but it's blocked. And it's going to be Fussell with the loose ball. Kicks it ahead to Campos. Modine now lofting it over to Fussell for the mid-range. Front of the rim, no good. The rebound is snagged by Harper. She tries to go back up with it, but is fouled. And so Anna Harper now headed to the free throw line. One thing the Hornets have been dominant at all season, rebounding the basketball. Annie Campos leads the team in that metrics. 12 rebounds per game for Annie Campos, then Anna Harper with just under 9 rebounds per game. Lily Fussell, the freshman, also notches 7.5 rebounds per game. Here's the free throw from Harper. That one misses its mark. Checking in for the Hornets will be Senya Campos. She's in for Jewel Northcutt. We'll see if Anna can nail her second free throw. That one is good, so we've got a tie game, 7-7, 3:58 to go in the first quarter. All right, bringing it up the floor for Scappoose with Stoddard again. She's got 4 points tonight, hands it to Miller, driving inside, stops the free throw line, kicks it back out to Stoddard. Now it's Leo driving to the rim, and a whistle before the shot. And I believe it's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to go against Anna Harper. And for the Hornets, that's their second team foul and second for Harper as well. Lofted pass goes into Vetch. Now back to Lennox in the near corner. Lennox dribbling against Campos, or pardon me, now Fussell as she lays it up and in. Lennox with a pair of points, her first of the night as the Hornets come up the near side. It's Modine trying to cross left, bouncing it down low to Harper on the left block. Back outside to Modine on the near side. Lofting it top of the key over to Fussell. Fussell now dribbling right with it. Down low to Campos. Campos on the right block trying to find Harper down low. And they're going to say that Campos was fouled. And they're going to also call it on the floor since Campos went with the pass. Inbound pass to Senya Campos. She head fakes a three, trying to dribble against Stoddard. Bouncing it down low to Harper, who goes up with the shot, can't get it. Annie Campos with the rebound, misses the putback and gets fouled on the third attempt for the Hornets. And something to, well, I think, definitely keep track of for Henley coming into this game is their ability to convert off the rebound. They've been real strong rebounding the basketball all season long, but they've sometimes taken third, fourth, or even fifth chances to score in some cases. So trying to convert quickly will definitely be a key for this evening's game as Annie Campos misses the first free throw. We'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels in your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check. They're going to make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. Second free throw on the way from Scappoose is good, so the Hornets back within one. It's 9-8 Scappoose with 3:06 to go in the first. Holly Parker coming in for Lily Fussell. The inbound pass now goes to Stoddard. Stoddard lofting it ahead to Miller, who's going to take it into the front court for Scappoose. Pass comes to the near side to Leo. She fires a triple that won't go. The rebound chased down into the far corner will go out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Hornets. And it looks like a whistle in the far corner. Possession going to stay with Henley in this case. Cindy Scappoose taking a screen to the near side as she brings it into the front court. And a blocking foul is going to go against Ellie Miller. And now it's Kennedy Modine to inbound, finds Scappoose along the near side. Scappoose puts it on the deck, driving to the free throw line, bounces it out to Senya Scappoose. Head fakes from the mid-range, one step closer to the bucket and drills it. Senya Scappoose gives the Hornets their first lead of the night as she's got 2 points. It's 10-9 Henley with 2:33 to go in the first. Driving to the near side, it's Lennox, kicks it out over into the far corner to Stoddard for three, and she splashes it. Stoddard's got 7 points tonight. Her team now leads 12-10. Pass into the front court goes out of bounds. Possession will stay with Scappoose. All right, the Indians into the front court now. Stoddard handing it over to Miller. Miller kicking it over to Lennox, Lennox now near side. Trying to drive, kicks it outside to Earl. She takes a triple, won't go, and a foul down low. Likely going to be a holding foul against the Hornets, as that is the case. It's going to be Holly Parker who picks up the foul. Anna Harper back into the game, even though she has 2 fouls so far. Lofting it into Lennox. Lennox, underhand pass back outside to Earl. Now back to Lennox in the near corner. Lennox trying to drive on the outside perimeter, kicks it to Stoddard against Scappoose. Stoddard outside to Leo. Leo driving down low, kicks it outside, and a three is taken, missed. Rebound is collected by Miller. She can't finish at the rim either. Finally, it's Stoddard along the perimeter. She drives, finds an open lane to the rim, and she can't convert either. Leo kicks it out. Now a triple. That's a miss. Finally, it's going to be Leo who's fouled down low on a putback attempt. So the Hornets out-rebounded on that possession, no question about it, and now that's going to net free throws to Sydney Leo. And a timeout is called. We'll take one, too. The score is 12-10 with 1:26 to go in the first on MyBasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
First free throw from Lau coming out of the break is no good. So she'll get a second opportunity here. That one found its way home. And so now it's Scappoose moving into the front court, driving to the rim. Scappoose with a shot that won't go. And a held ball, possession Scappoose. Up by 3 with a minute 14 to go in the first. Inbound pass finds its way to Lennox. It's stolen away by Northcutt for a mid-range jumper that rolls out, no good. Rebound was snagged down low, and thrown to the ground was Maya Mock on the rebound attempt. 7th team foul for Scappoose. A lot of fouls on the floor for the Indians, and so that'll put Mock and the Hornets in the bonus. Reminder that this afternoon's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. All right, Maya Mock missed her first, so she will get a second here. Second free throw, no good either. The Hornets struggling from the penalty stripe tonight. It was Earl who got the rebound. Gets it ahead, and a foul in transition as Lennox drew the blocking foul. They're going to charge that to Mock. 5 fouls already for the Hornets in this first period. Pass goes outside. It was Earl who head faked a 3. Kicks it all the way outside to Miller. Miller trying to spin around Northcutt, driving to the rim. Up off the glass, won't go. It's Holly Parker with the rebound. Under a minute now to go in the first as Holly Parker tosses it ahead to Mock beyond the perimeter. Down low to Northcutt. Tries to get it to Harper, and a held ball. Possession will stay with the Hornets. 45 seconds even to go in the first quarter. Northcutt takes the tall inbound pass, trying to drive along the right block, tries to find Harper, but no one's home as the pass goes out of bounds, and the Indians will take possession. It's going to be Earl to inbound. Earl lofting it ahead to Stoddard. Stoddard coming along the near side, guarded by Mock. Finally crossing the timeline. Driving down low, kicks it out to Earl for the mid-range shot that was no good. It was Harper who collected the rebound. She's going to try to throw it ahead, but Earl is there to take away the pass. Pass comes to the near side to Stoddard. Northcutt breaks it up. Northcutt's now tied up down low. A held ball, possession Scappoose with 18 seconds left to go in the first. And a 3-point differential as the Indians lead. Inbound pass intended for Stoddard is picked away by Mock on the far side, and Mock is going to travel before putting the ball down for a dribble. Inbound pass goes to Stoddard. Now into the far side for Miller. Miller trying to spin around Northcutt. She's trapped down low by Scappoose. Kicks it outside to Stoddard. 2 seconds now. Shot at the buzzer is no good. And a foul called, as that was Vetch who drew the foul at the buzzer. It looked like she might have been inside the 3-point arc, but they are actually giving her 3. So Vetch at the line for 3 free throws to close out the first quarter. Trying to give her team a 6-point advantage. The first free throw is good. Second free throw is no good either. And we'll wait for one more. All right, we go to the second quarter. With a score of 15-10, the Hornets trailing the Indians in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sit home. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Back with you for the second quarter of action tonight from Henley High School as it's the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com. As Scappoose will start with the basketball. The inbound pass goes to Vetch. Vetch is going to be fouled on the floor as we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way in this half. First free throw was no good, but Scappoose collects their own rebound. Kick out to the near side to Miller. She's trying to drive the paint high up off the glass. It won't go, but the rebound is snagged away by Harper. Harper trying to push it ahead in transition. Going to the rim herself for the shot. It's blocked, but she's fouled. No block. It is a foul called, and that will send Anna Harper to the line. We'll remind you that today's broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Second free throw from Harper is no good. She did convert once, makes the score 15-11. That was Lily Fassell on the rebound. On the putback attempt, she's fouled. And so Fassell will head to the line for a pair. Her first opportunity at points this afternoon. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. And Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. Checking in for Scappoose was Peyton Lennox. She's got 2 points this afternoon. First free throw from Fassell was good, but a lane violation on the second will earn her a redo on the missed free throw, trying to bring her team back within 2, down 15-12 with 7.5 to go in the second. Fassell's free throw rims out, no good. The rebound is collected by Lennox, and she's the one to push it ahead for Scappoose. Pass into the near side for Stoddard. Stoddard is trapped down low, kicks it outside to Miller. Miller now over to Lennox beyond the arc. Now to Miller. Miller trying to drive down low, kicks it out to Lennox on the near side. Lennox driving the right baseline, up with the floater, won't go. The rebound's going to go out of bounds. Possession stays with Scappoose. And Union's doing a great job on the boards. Henley, which has been a dominant rebounding team all season long, not able to get the footing inside the paint. It's helped Scappoose build this three-point lead. Inbound pass is awry, but it is tipped and gathered in the near corner by Leo. And now it is Lennox. Lennox kicks it outside to Leo. Leo at the free throw line is going to travel. And so the Hornets get possession back with a three-point deficit, 15-12, 7:03 to go in the second quarter. The inbound pass goes to Senya Campos. Senya bothered all the way up the floor, And passes it down low to Harper. Harper up with the shot, off the glass, it won't go, and the rebound snagged by Scappoose. Henley battling for it down low, and they're going to say that Campos fouled. And we'll see who that sends to the line. I believe it's going to be Anna Ross. But someone is shooting free throws the rest of the way on any kind of defensive foul. Scappoose has 9, Henley has 8, so almost into the double bonus in the second quarter, and lots of basketball left to be played. The first free throw from Ross is no good. Lily Fussell with the rebound. Fussell trying to push the pace for the Hornets, and she gets fouled in transition. So that will send Lily Fussell to the line for 2. Right now, 1 for 2 at the free throw line. As we remind you, today's broadcast brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness have the most understanding personal trainers that you can ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness want you to lose those reins and get your gains. First free throw from Fussell found its mark. Second free throw from Fussell on the way. That one no good, but Campos gets the rebound, goes back up with the shot. It's no good. The rebound snagged by Megan Earl for Scappoose, and now they push it ahead. Earl stops beyond the three-point line, kicks it to Leo. Leo now to Stoddard. Stoddard driving the right baseline, up with the floater. It's no good, and Anna Harper clears the glass for the Hornets. Harper kicks it ahead to Campos, who's guarded by Stoddard all the way up the court. Pardon me, that's Lennox on the far side. Kicks it to Senya Campos. She fires a triple. Back iron, no good. And again, it's Earl there for the rebound. Ahead to Sydney Leo. Now into the near corner for Scappoose. Trying to kick it back outside. But an over and back as Scappoose couldn't handle the pass. And a turnover, a 2-point differential, 6:14 to go in the second quarter. And timeout is going to be called by Coach Sarah Mann of the Scappoose Indians. We'll take 1-2. 15-13, 6:14 to go in the second. You've got the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoffs on mybasin.com.
What defined me as a person, I love to play every sport I could possibly play. It's really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abby's afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abby's after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abby's, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Back with you inside the Hornets' Nest at Henley High School, just south of downtown Klamath Falls, is the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs. As Annie Campos took the inbound pass for the Hornets. Trying to do some footwork at the perimeter, kicks it outside to Senya Campos, head fakes a 3, tries to drive inside. Could not get the pass off as I believe it was tipped by Scappoose. It'll remain Hornets basketball as Kennedy Modine gets set to check in for Senya Campos. Inbound pass goes straight to Modine. Couldn't connect on a 3. And now it's going to be Lennox moving it up the floor for Scappoose. Driving along the left side is trying to get it outside to Earl. Earl driving inside, finds Leo cutting to the rim and converts. 2 more points for Leo. She's got 5 tonight. Her team up 17-13 with 5:43 to go in the second. All right, now it's Modine on the far side for the Hornets. Modine has it picked away by Lennox. Lennox versus Modine in transition, and a foul will send Lennox to the line for a pair. Lennox's first free throw is off its mark, and now that the Hornets are in the double bonus, Scappoose just 1 away from also being in that double bonus. Second free throw was no good. Neither team having lots of luck on the penalty stripe tonight, as it was Leo with the rebound in the far corner. Leo trying to drive the baseline, bouncing it over to Stoddard. Stoddard back out to Lennox, can't control the pass. Picked up by Northcutt. Stoddard trying to find Earl, now up to Miller beyond the key. Finds it to Stoddard. Now it's Lennox in the near corner. Lennox against Northcutt as she brings Northcutt out beyond the perimeter. Trying to drive on the right side. Underhand pass goes outside to Earl. Earl driving to the rim for a floater. It's good. 19-13, 5:03 to go in the second, as that was Earl with the points. Pass now inside to Harper, outside to Scappoose. Senya at the free throw line, lofts it back outside to Annie. Annie trying to call for a screen, denies the screen, trying to bounce it inside to Harper, who tries to go up off the glass, can't convert, and gets fouled on the putback attempt. And so that will send Anna Harper to the line for 2. Hornets having a tough time finishing at the rim tonight. First free throw from Harper finds its mark, 19-14 the score. As we've got a sub in for Scappoose, it'll be Ava Vetch in for Peyton Lennox. And also Maya Mock gonna sub in for Lily Fussell on the Hornets. Second free throw from Harper is good, so now down to a 4-point game. 19-15, 4:44 to go in the second. Bounce pass goes outside to Earl in the near corner. Earl lofts it high to Stoddard across the floor, now to Miller. Miller trying to drive inside at the free throw line against Northcutt. Finds Vetch in the near corner for a triple, won't go. Earl there for the rebound, high off the glass, that won't go. And a late whistle as Harper picks up a foul. That'll be her third. She's likely done for the half. As Fussell getting ready to check in. That will send Earl to the line for a pair. First is good. Second free throw is good as well. 21-15, 4:26 to go in the second. Annie Scappoose trying to find a way up the floor. She is hassled the whole way up and finally crosses the timeline. Now a mismatch as they try to find Fussell on the near side. Fussell trying to go up with the shot, but can't get it. Pass goes ahead to Earl for Scappoose, going against Scappoose. Earl with the shot, won't go, and the Hornets collect the rebound as Northcutt kicks it ahead to Fussell. Fussell now on the near side. Kicks it ahead to Mock. Mock in the near corner, trying to drive to the rim. Kicks it outside to Senya Scappoose for a triple. Front iron, won't go. It's Northcutt with the rebound. She goes back up with the shot, no foul. Scappoose on the third try, sent to the free throw line. Annie Scappoose has been quiet most of the night. Scappoose has neutralized Henley's top scorer. She's only got 2 points tonight for the season, averaging 15.7 points. See if she can get involved here as that first free throw misses. Lennox back into the game for Scappoose. Second free throw from Scappoose is also no good, and it's a rebound for the Indians. It's Leo. Pass comes to the near side to Lennox. Lennox driving, shoots, can't score. Annie Scappoose firing a pass ahead, now finds Northcutt down low. Northcutt maneuvering to the rim, she can't finish. And the rebound picked up by Lennox. Lennox pushing the pace for Scappoose is going to find Vetch in the far side, but Vetch will travel. And the Hornets just having a tough time scoring the basket at all. They're getting good looks at the rim, taking shots that they're comfortable with, but you got to wonder if the playoff jitters are starting to get to them just a little bit. Still lots of basketball left to be played. The score 21-15, 3.5 to go in the second quarter. Here's Senya Scappoose. Moving up the floor. Scappoose beyond the arc, loses the dribble, goes up with the shot, and is fouled. And they're going to charge the foul to Megan Earl. It'll send Senya Scappoose to the line for 2. She's only got 2 points tonight. Holly Parker checking into the game for Maya Mock. And Senya Scappoose at the penalty stripe for her second opportunity. That one is good. And so the score now 21-16, 3:16 to go in the second. Pass into the front court, and a travel is going to be called against Brooklyn Schmidt. The sophomores checked into the game for Scappoose. Hornets force a turnover. Senya coming into the front court, hassled all the way up the floor by Lennox, and finally Senya going to hand off to Annie, and a foul in the open floor. That's going to send Annie Campos to the line for a pair. Annie having trouble at the free throw line tonight, 0 for 2, but she'll get 2 more opportunities here with both teams squarely in the double bonus. Here's Campos. That one finds the bottom of the bucket, and you hope that this is one of those moments where all she needs to see is it go in once. Campos getting ready for her second free throw. And his second free throw is good as well. 3-point ball game, 21-18, under 3 to go in the half. Ball goes out of bounds on the inbound. Possession stays with the Indians. Inbound pass goes to Earl. Earl trying to take it to the rim. Pass goes to Schmidt, up off the glass, and ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Scappoose basketball. As Earl going to loft it high to Miller, top of the key. Miller guarded by Northcutt, right at the top of the key, bouncing it on the near side to Schmidt, but Schmidt could not corral the pass. Goes out of bounds, and the Hornets trying to go on a run here late in this first half. Lily Fassell with the inbound. Now it's Modine with it as she's going to cross the timeline. Modine beyond the arc, kicking it to Parker at the free throw line. Parker trying to spin around, kicks it near side to Northcutt for a mid-range jumper, and it's good. Northcutt finding the range there. Those are her first 2 points tonight, makes it a 1-point game. Now it's Scappoose coming along the near side, kicks it out to Schmidt in the far corner. Schmidt going to get it to Leo. Leo trying to drive along that left side, loses the dribble, ball goes out of bounds, possession Hornets. And the Hornets bench starting to get a bit involved now, as this team hoping to find their range. As checking into the game was Ava Vetch for the Indians. Timeout, Scappoose will take one too. The score 21-20 with 2:16 to go in the second. You've got coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
We're back in the second quarter. The score 21-20, 2:16 to go in this first half. The Hornets on a little bit of a run here. They've scored 6 straight points to bring them within 1. It's a Northcutt jumper and a couple of made free throws from Annie Campos. It's the latest scores for Henley as they trot their 5 back out on the floor. It's Northcutt, Parker, Campos, Modine, and Fassell. The Hornets opting for some shooting with this lineup. They trail by 1. Inbound pass to Modine. Modine crossing the timeline, trying to bounce it down low to Fassell. The loose ball picked up by Parker. Parker trying to go up with the shot, won't get it. Ball saved from going out of bounds, and the Hornets fall on it. Possession's going to stay with the Indians, though, after a held ball. Good effort down low by the Lady Hornets, but Scappoose still earns the basketball. Inbound pass ahead to Vetch. Vetch coming along the near side, lofting it far side to Earl beyond the arc. Earl puts it on the deck, is going to find Leo well beyond the perimeter. Leo guarded by Parker. Leo coming around top of the key, driving inside. She's going to find Vetch, driving to the rim, kicks it outside to Miller. Miller now to Earl, driving to the rim and scores. Good passing there by Scappoose, extends their lead back out to 3. And Annie Campos is going to be fouled after the inbound pass. That will earn free throws for Annie Campos. Annie 2 for 4 from the penalty stripe tonight. Again, she is the team's leading scorer this season, averaging 15.7 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. She is the most impactful player on the floor tonight as she makes her first. Senya Campos into the game for Holly Parker. The Hornets really looking for some shooting with this lineup that they have out on the floor. Here's Campos. That free throw is good as well. Back to a one-point game, 23-22, a minute 36 to go in the half. Inbound pass is tipped by Fussell, goes out of bounds. It'll be Indians basketball. And Scappoose to inbound. They're going to find Leo. Leo in transition, trying to drive to the rim, has it picked loose, and the ball stolen away by Modine. Modine now having to cross the timeline and kicks it ahead to Campos. Campos trying to drive the near lane, kicks it outside, and Campos will travel. All right, it's Ellie Miller to inbound for the Indians. Minute 18 to go in the second. And a long ball pass from Earl is going to be saved from going out of bounds. And a scramble for the basketball is going to be won by Campos. And Campos is going to draw a foul from Lennox, as Lennox had the basketball wrestled away from her and then fouled Campos trying to get it back. So it'll be Annie at the line. She has hit 4 straight, 4 of 6 from the line tonight. A reminder that today's broadcast is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities, comfortable and not corporate. Klamath Falls Subaru, stop on by and say hi. Campos ties the game at 23. The Hornets' biggest lead of the night has been 1 point. And so trying to reclaim that with a made free throw, which Campos nails. Back up by 1, 24-23 as the Hornets find themselves ahead with a minute 11 to go in the second. Bouncing it ahead to Leo. Leo trying to push it ahead for the Indians. Dribbles inside the perimeter, kicks it outside to Earl beyond the arc on the far side. Earl now kicking it to Leo in the same spot in the far corner, bouncing it ahead to Miller, top of the key. Miller is going to find Butler into the game now as it's Lennox. Lennox trying to drive inside, takes a right elbow jumper. That is good. Rattles around the rim and falls for Lennox. Her team back up 25-24, and another foul as Campos will get to go back to the line. And Annie drawing lots of attention and lots of fouls as she is headed to the line again. Campos to the line for 2. She's drained 6 straight. That's a make. Tie ball game, 25 all. And Ava Vetch back into the game. It's Campos. Even if she's not making buckets, only 1 field goal made this game. But she's able to convert at the line more consistently now as she makes that one too. Gives her team a 1-point lead, 26-25. And if you're not going to play Campos physically, you got to find another way to guard her, and it's tough because playing physical right now is earning Annie a lot of fouls. And in this case, free throws. Scappoose to inbound, finds Lennox. Lennox guarded by Annie on the near side of the floor. Finally crosses the timeline. Lennox comes along the near side, kicks it to Leo. Leo beyond the perimeter, guarded by Senya Campos. 38 seconds to go now in the second, and Scappoose might take the last shot. We'll see. All right, Leo trying to drive along the far side, still guarded by Senya. Lofting it near side to Searle, and the ball is picked loose, picked up by Scappoose. Scappoose one-on-one in transition, stutter steps to the rim, high off the glass, and she's fouled. Annie Scappoose back at the line for 2 more. Annie is making her living at the penalty stripe tonight. She's made 8 consecutive free throws for the Hornets' last 8 points. Just missed that one there, but she'll get another opportunity. Megan Earl back in the game. Here's Scappoose at the penalty stripe. It's good. And so the Hornets now lead by 2, 27-25. Inbound pass is taken now across the timeline for Scappoose. Stoddard with 15 seconds, trying to drive along the near side. Kicks it to Leo. Leo backs up beyond the arc, guarded by Fussell. Now it's Stoddard. Stoddard with 6 seconds now, trying to find the pass down low. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Scappoose, getting active on defense. It allows Scappoose to inbound with 4.1 on the clock in the second quarter. Pass comes in to Butler. Butler trying to get the pass off to Earl, who cannot get the shot. The Hornets come surging back in that first half. They lead 27-25. We'll be back with halftime stats and more as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
Thanks, Swap Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Pleasure to be back with you on mybasin.com, the site of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs. We are coming to you inside the Hornets' nest, and the score at halftime is 27-25, and the Lady Hornets in front of Scappoose, leading all scorers after one half. It's Annie Scappoose with 11 points, 9 of which on made free throws. We've also got 6 points tonight for Anna Harper, 2 from Jewel Northcutt, Lily Fussell, and Kennedy Modine. Your scorers tonight for the Henley Hornets. Meantime, for Scappoose, 7 points tonight for Addie Stoddard, as well as 5 from Sydney Leo and Megan Earl. She's got 5 as well, followed by 4 from Peyton Lennox. Those are your scorers tonight for the Scappoose Indians. We've got a score of 27-25. The Hornets going on a big run there at the end of the half, led by Annie Scappoose at the free throw line. She was able to get there consistently due to, a lot of fouls in the open floor at first, and then earning some shooting fouls late in the quarter. Hornets and the Indians were in the double bonus throughout most of the second quarter. It was just the Hornets who took advantage, drew contact, went to the line, and converted. Down at 1 point by 7, they find themselves up 2 at halftime. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the bracket for the 4A girls in the state of Oregon, as well as take a look at how these two teams finished the season. Might have an opportunity as well to look ahead to the boys contest, which is coming up right after this game concludes this afternoon on mybasin.com. You've got more coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoffs next, so leave it here.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we stopped at basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
We're back at halftime from Henley High School. The score 27-25, and the Hornets lead the Scappoose Indians. This is the 5-seed Hornets taking on the 12-seed Scappoose Indians in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs. A few upsets already in Scappoose, right there in the running to have one of their own, unless the Hornets can hold on here. But as we take a look at what else has happened around the state, we'll start at the top as Baker beat Klamath Union. This was last night, 56-36, the 1 seed advancing to take on Madras. The 9 seed upsetting the 8 seed as Madras beat Cascade 50-41. That was last night as well. 2 more upsets on the other side of the bracket, but first we'll mention that Marshfield, awaiting the winner of this game today, beat Malala 48-37. They will play whoever wins this game today, 3:15 on Thursday, up at Viking Gym, up at Forest Grove High School for the Elite 8, as they call it, at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A playoffs. The other 2 upsets, we'll say it's Crook County, who was the 11 seed, who beat LeGrand, the 6 seed, 39-38. Also, the 10 seed Philomath beat Marist 46-39. Finally, Gladstone handling business against Junction City, the 2 seed up in front of the 15 seed, 69-36. So 2 games that we know are going to be played is going to be Baker taking on Madras. That's the first game of the tournament at 1:30 on Thursday. And then it'll be Gladstone battling Philomath in the 2 versus 10 matchup. That's at 8:15 on Thursday. So we know how the bookends are going to look. We know that Marshfield is awaiting the winner of this one, and we know that Crook County is awaiting the winner of Mazama and Astoria, which begins in about 60 seconds, 1 o'clock local time, as the Vikings taking on the Fishermen in that one. We'll try to keep you updated on that score as we continue today's broadcast. And, of course, you can see them warming up on the floor right now. The Henley boys getting ready to take on the Astoria boys after the conclusion of this game. So we've got doubleheader coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A playoffs on mybasin.com. Second half action here between the Lady Hornets and the Scappoose Indians is next.
to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza. And there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger.
All right, we're cutting the break short as we join you back in progress for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs. The score 27-25, and the Hornets lead. Scappoose with the basketball as Stoddard takes a mid-range floater that won't go, and Annie Campos with the rebound. She's taking it along the far side. Campos trying to dribble along that left lane, goes up with the mid-range shot, is a bit short, but the putback is also short. Gets the third opportunity. No. How about the fourth one? No again for the Hornets. Finally, it's going to be Harper who grabs the rebound. She can't convert. Reverse layup off the glass. No. Harper, another opportunity, and finally gets fouled. And the Hornets, again, with about 6 opportunities at the rim there, finally get fouled. To bail them out, it'll be Anna Harper at the free throw line. She had 6 points in the first half and shot 4 of 5 from the penalty stripe. Here's Harper for 2. We'll remind you that today's broadcast brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Be sure to refuel after the game at Mountain Mike's. You've earned a pizza made with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. All right, here's Harper for her second after the first one missed its mark. Harper can't convert on the second one either. And it's Ross with the rebound for Scappoose. Kicking it near side to Vetch. Vetch, floater from the mid-range is good. She banks it in, and we've got a tie ball game, 27 all. Vetch, that's 3 points for her tonight. Here's Campos coming along the near side, trying to find Harper. Harper spins around, kicks it outside to Mock. Mock driving inside, up with the shot, won't go, and the rebound is collected by Scappoose. Now pushing it ahead is Stoddard. Stoddard kicking it outside to Vetch. Vetch at the right elbow finds Leo. Leo back to Vetch on the near side. Vetch taking a screen, trying to drive around the corner. Bounce pass down low to Ross. Finds its way back outside to Leo. Stoddard now for 3 is good. Stoddard with the triple gives her 10 points tonight. She's leading her team as Scappoose back up by 3. It's 30-27 with 6:34 to go in the third. Here's Annie Campos up with the shot, and she answers back with a 2-point bucket. 13 points tonight for Campos. Stoddard going to the rim. She can't convert. The rebound collected by Mock. Mock lofting it ahead to Northcutt down low. She gets hacked on the shot and will head to the line. Northcutt just 2 points for herself in that first half. Has an opportunity at the free throw line here.
Jill Northcutt is at the line for 2 shots.
This broadcast on the OSAA network as well as you'll be able to find our stream link on OSAA.org. Their broadcast brought to you by Pacific Office Automation and Toyota. Ball goes out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Hornets after the missed free throw opportunities from Northcutt. Here's Harper to inbound. Lofting it high to Northcutt, top of the key, finds Annie on the left elbow. Annie bothered, puts it on the deck, driving to the rim, up with the shot, and Campos scores. 15 points tonight for Campos, gives her team a 1-point lead, 31-30. Now moving up, it's Vetch. Vetch getting past Annie, kicks it to the near corner for Earl, tries to get it down low, but the pass picked away by Northcutt. And Northcutt going to be fouled by Earl. That's Earl's third foul, and it's Hornets basketball with a 1-point lead. 5:52 to go in the third. Annie Campos collects the inbound, kicking it ahead to Senya. Senya beyond the perimeter on the far side, taking a screen. Now top of the key, launches a long triple, won't go. Rebound is snagged down low by Northcutt. She throws it off the glass, it falls. Leo driving in low, trying to draw contact on a drive to the rim, but she lays it up and in. No whistle. And Leo with 7 points tonight. And it looked like there was a foul, so it'll remain Scappoose basketball. Inbound pass is going to find its way to Stoddard, lofting it across the court to Vetch. Vetch driving down low, trying to get it to Stoddard. Loses the handle, but recollects. Stoddard driving to her left, finds Vetch in the near side. Vetch coming around, trying to take it inside, finds Stoddard in the far corner for three. Front iron, no good. The rebound picked up by Leo. Leo taking contact down low. It's a held ball, possession Scappoose. And it'll be Lily Fussell to check in for the Hornets. 5:04 to go in the third. Inbounding it is Earl for Scappoose. Trying to loft it down low, but the pass intercepted by Harper. Harper trying to take it to the rim herself. Up off the glass, it's good. Anna Harper with the scoop and score. 8 points tonight for her. All right, now Scappoose trying to push it in transition. The shot from Earl on the other side. She scores as well. These teams starting to heat up from the field. Annie Campos taking this one up the floor. She's trying to take it herself. Fakes the pass up off the glass. It's no good. Rebound is collected by Campos, but there is a foul. This one is going against the Hornets. Fussell picks up the foul. That's her first and the first team foul for the Hornets. Earl to inbound. Lofting it near side to Vetch. Vetch crosses the timeline, trying to drive right down Main Street. Takes it back out beyond the perimeter and finds Stoddard. Stoddard guarded by Senya Campos. Stoddard trying to drive right inside the free throw line in the paint. Now the shot's no good, and Northcutt with the rebound. Northcutt trying to get past half court. Finally gets past Leo. Driving inside, up with a tough shot. It won't go. The rebound picked up by Fussell. Fussell down low, has it picked loose. Scramble for the basketball at the free throw line, and a held ball. Possession, Hornets. To inbound will be Anna Harper. Henley up by one, 35-34, 4:10 to go in the third. Inbound pass goes to Senya Campos. Catch and shoot three is short. Rebound is collected by Leo for Scappoose. She kicks it ahead to Stoddard. Open look at the rim is short. She can't get it. Senya Campos with the rebound. Kicks it ahead to Annie. Annie now trying to push the pace in transition. Driving to the rim herself with a step. It's good. Annie Campos, 17 points, and Henley takes time. It's 37-34, 3:50 to go in the third in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
That rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
37-34 is the score in the third quarter. 3:50 to go in the third. And as we come out of the break, it's going to be Scappoose basketball. Annie Campos leading the charge in this third quarter. She's got 6 points tonight, 17 on the game for Henley, as her team now leads by 3. Scappoose to inbound, and the Hornets trying to break out a little bit of a press here. As the pass goes ahead to Leo. Leo guarded by Campos all the way up the floor. Leo terminates the dribble, trying to find it down low, and a foul is going to be called against Anna Harper. Some frustration, but the right call ultimately. Be the second team foul for Henley, 4th foul for Harper, and she might be greeted with an extended stay on the bench, as it'll be Kennedy Modine to check in for Harper and Scappoose basketball. Earl bouncing it over to Lennox. Lennox beyond the arc, guarded by Senya Campos. With it now is Earl. Earl driving right, hands it off to Lennox. Lennox now moving to her right, trying to find out, and Campos is going to be charged with a foul as she made contact with Vetch on the pass. And that'll be Annie's first foul. Scappoose to inbound, gets it into the backcourt to Lennox as she brings it back up for Scappoose. Lennox, underhand dish to Earl, top of the key. Earl lofting it to the far side to Lennox. Lennox back top of the key, crosses to her right, kicks it to Earl in the far corner. Earl taking a screen, moving to her left, kicks it over to Vetch. Vetch guarded by Annie Campos. Vetch now turning around, bouncing it over to Earl. Earl lofting it near side to Leo. Leo trying to drive down low, terminates the dribble, lost it over to Ross for a mid-range jumper, won't go. And Campos with the rebound. Campos hassled, kicks it over to Senya. Senya Campos now bringing it up the floor. Terminates the dribble, kicks it over to Northcutt. Northcutt trying to drive left baseline, strong to the rim, and it won't go. Rebound is kicked out of bounds. Last touched by the Hornets. It'll be Scappoose basketball. Inbound pass goes to Lennox on the far side. Lennox kicking it outside to Lau. She head fakes a three, driving inside. Strong layup attempt is no good. The rebound is kicked out and collected by Campos. Campos in transition, trying to take it to the rim herself. Strong move to the rim, it's good. Annie with 19 points for the game now. Her team up by 5, 39-34. Vetch loses the dribble, held ball, possession Indians. Ellie Butler in for Scappoose. Holly Parker in for Senya Campos for the Hornets. 2:16 to go in the third, and a 5-point game. Henley leads this first-round playoff matchup by 5. Inbound pass is going to go to Lennox. Lennox at the free throw line. She is going to travel. Annie Campos, guarded all the way up the floor by Leo. Crosses up, Campos gets past her, steps to the side, fires a triple, won't go. The rebound is collected by Ross, and Ross is actually fouled on the rebound. Charged the foul to Fussell, and it's Indians basketball underneath the rim.
Fourth team foul.
It's Lennox trying to drive down low, kicks it out to Leo, head fakes a three, creates a lane to the rim, up with the shot, and she's fouled. Leo heads to the line. She is 1 for 2 from the free throw line this afternoon. And Maya Mock getting ready to check in for the Hornets. The free throw misses its mark as Holly Parker checks out for Mock. Second free throw is good, and so it's 39-35, a minute 50 to go in the third quarter. Campos going to be guarded up the floor, kicks it ahead to Fussell on the far side. Fussell maintains the dribble, takes a mid-range shot, that's good. Fussell with her first field goal of the night. She's got 4 points. Score now 41-35. Henley leads, a minute 30 to go in the third. And the pass knocked away by Butler, goes into the backcourt, and Lau has to dive for it, and a timeout. Timeout, Scappoose. They're going to maintain possession. It was a little hectic there at half court, but I think we've got it sorted. 41-35, $1:23 to go in the third. We'll be back with more of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
41-35 is the score as the Hornets lead the Indians in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs on mybasin.com. The inbound pass for Scappoose goes to Stoddard. Stoddard driving near side, stops at the free throw line, kicks it outside to Lennox. Lennox beyond the perimeter, kicks it to Butler. Now it's back to Stoddard in the near side. Stoddard puts it on the deck, taking a screen, moving to her right, terminates the dribble, underhand pass back outside to Leo. Leo driving down low, loses the defender, takes a shot that's no good. Ross with the putback. For Ross, those are her first points of the night. Campos moving up the floor, kicks it over to Fussell. 4-3, pardon me, that was Modine with the triple that missed. Ahead now to Stoddard in transition. Good defense there by Modine. Knocks it out of bounds. It'll remain Indians basketball. But Modine there to pick the pocket of Stoddard in transition. Lennox to inbound. And we've got a sub for Scappoose as well. It's Ava Vetch. All right, Lennox to inbound, trying to get it to Leo, but the pass taken away by Modine, or pardon me, that was Fussell. Hands it to Campos. Campos bouncing it back to Fussell for the mid-range floater. Front of the rim, no good. Campos with the rebound, strong to the rim, and it's good. 21 points tonight for Annie Campos. Her team up 43-21. 21 seconds to go in the third. Pass goes over to Leo. Leo fakes right, drives left, trying to find a way inside. Kicks it out to Stoddard. Stoddard, mid-range jump shot off the glass is good. Nice finish there by Stoddard. She's got 12 points tonight. 7 seconds now left to go in the third. Shot on the other side by Mock won't go. Back with another shot, and finally Mock is fouled. And so Mock to the free throw line. Mock is 0 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. She gets 2 more here with 2.3 seconds to go in the third, trying to extend this 43-39 lead. Here's the free throw. It's good. Senya Campos checking in for Kennedy Modine. And here's the second free throw coming up from Mock. That one is no good, and time will expire in the third quarter. The Hornets headed to the fourth with a 5-point lead. 44-39 in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball playoffs on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter of action. One of these teams just 8 minutes away from punching their ticket to Forest Grove High School, the site of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a girls basketball Elite Eight. You've got the round of 16 right here on mybasin.com. Henley up by 5, 44-39, and it'll be Scappoose to start with the basketball on the far side of the floor. Inbound pass goes to Lennox. Lennox going to pass it to Earl. Earl bouncing it over to Stoddard. Stoddard in a double team, kicking it to Vetch. Vetch, the shot no good. And Anna Harper with the rebound. Kicks it ahead to Annie Campos. Leading scorer tonight, 21 points for her team. Campos steps back, fires a triple. It's good! Annie Campos banks in a triple. 47-39, 7:34 to go in the fourth. Now a triple from Stoddard. That's no good. And the rebound, a long one, collected by Earl. Earl with it now on the far side. Kicks it to Stoddard. Stoddard now driving left. Going to bounce it near side to Vetch. Vetch guarded by Campos. Gets a hand on it. The ball is loose and a held ball. Possession Hornets. Kennedy Modine in for Senya Campos. To the 5 out there on the floor for Henley. It's Annie Campos, Jewel Northcutt, Anna Harper, Kennedy Modine, and Lily Fussell. Here's Kennedy Modine to inbound. Finds Fussell. Fussell now to Modine on the far side. Modine puts it on the deck, lofting it near side to Fussell. Head fakes a 3, driving inside. One step inside the perimeter. She nails a mid-range jumper. Fussell with 6 points tonight. All right, now it is Lennox. Lennox moving it up for Scappoose. Driving up off the glass. It's no good. Anna Harper with the rebound. Harper loses the dribble, kicks it ahead to Fussell. As Fussell crosses the timeline for the Hornets. Over to Modine on the far side. Modine head fakes. Kicks it near side to Northcutt for a mid-range jumper. Short on the attempt. Fussell for the rebound. That's no good. Harper for the third opportunity. That's no good. The rebound knocked out of bounds. Possession goes to the Indians. .6:34 to go in the final frame, and Henley leads by 10, 49-39. As Scappoose will inbound. Pass goes to Stoddard. Stoddard crosses the timeline. Tries to kick it over to Lennox, but the pass knocked out of bounds by Annie Campos. Again, active on the defensive end for the game's leading scorer. Inbound pass to Stoddard. Stoddard denies the Ross screen, goes to her left, steps back, thought about a 3, but kicks it to Vetch. Vetch back outside to Stoddard. Stoddard driving to her right, kicks it back outside to Vetch. Now to Earl, but the pass picked away by Holly Parker. That's Lily Fussell with a clean look at the rim. Fussell with the steal and the score. 51-39. And a double dribble called against Lennox. Sydney Lau and Ellie Miller into the game for Scappoose. Annie Campos with the inbound. By the way, that last bucket for Fussell gives her 8 points tonight. Here's Modine on the far side. Modine takes the screen by Campos, moving to her right, bouncing it to Fussell. She can't control the pass. It'll be Scappoose basketball, 5:45 to go in the fourth. And the score, 51-39 Henley. Pass outside to Leo. She has an open look at 3 and swishes it. 11 points for her tonight. And Annie Campos loses the dribble. Possession goes to Scappoose. Senya Campos checks into the game for Lily Fussell. Miller to inbound, finds Lennox. Lennox taking it along the far side. Driving up with the shot, it's no good. Anna Harper with the board. Anna Harper pushing the pace for the Hornets. She's trying to take it herself, kicks it out, and a whistle. They're going to call this one against Stoddard. That's her fourth. Fifth team foul. That ties the Hornets total as Holly Parker heads back out there in place of Kennedy Modine. Senya to inbound. Gets it to Northcutt. Fires a triple. Jewel Northcutt's three rims out. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession remains with the Hornets. Senya Campos to inbound right in front of her own bench. Lofting it to Annie on the near side. Annie kicks it to Holly. Holly now to Jewel. Jewel can't control the pass, has to get it back in, and Lau picks up the loose ball. Lau taking it herself, up off the glass, and it's good. Lau with 5 consecutive points for the Indians makes it a 51-44 ball game, 4:50 to go in the final frame. Campos moving to her right, lofting it down low to Harper. Harper up off the glass, won't go, and the rebound snagged by Ross. Loose ball picked up by Lennox. Lennox now moving it up for the Indians. Kicks it over to Leao. Leao driving in and fouled on the drive. That'll be the 6th Henley team foul. And they're going to charge that to Senya Campos. That's her second. Lily Vassell and Maya Mock into the game for Jewel Northcutt and Senya Campos. Also for Scappoose, it'll be Megan Earl in for Peyton Lennox. 4.5 to go in the final quarter. Henley leads by 7. Layout kicks it outside to Miller. She fires a triple. It's just short. Campos with the rebound. Campos battles through the double team in the backcourt. Now takes it into the front court for the Hornets. Stutter steps. Kicks it over to Parker. One step inside the perimeter. The jump shot's no good. Campos knocks the rebound loose, and a foul. This foul is going to go against Sydney Lau. 6th for the Indians and 1st for Lau tonight. Inbound pass to Mock. Mock takes it back around the perimeter. Tries to get it to Vassell, but it's taken away by Earl. Crossing the timeline was Miller. Pardon me, that's Leo. And a foul away from the basketball. They're going to say that Annie Campos picked up that foul there. That's her second, 7th team foul for the Hornets. And that will allow Ellie Miller to go to the line for 1 and 1. This is her first opportunity at the free throw line tonight. Here's the free throw. It's good, so she'll earn a second. Second free throw is also good. So a perfect trip at the line for Ellie Miller. Makes it a 5-point ball game, 51-46 in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Playoffs on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
We're in the 4th quarter of a 51-46 ball game. It is the round of 16 in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Playoffs on mybasin.com. Henley up 51-46 with 3:57 to go in the 4th quarter. 5 out on the floor for the Hornets. It's Annie Campos, Holly Parker, Anna Harper, Maya Mock, and Lily Vassell. For the Indians, it is Peyton Lennox along with Ellie Miller. Also Sydney Leo out there with Addie Stoddard. And also Anna Ross in for Scappoose. All right, Annie Campos bringing it up. Bounces it near side to Vassell as the Indians trying to force turnovers. Holly Parker with the mid-range jump shot. Rims out, no good. And that's Vassell with the attempted putback. She's fouled on the putback attempt. and so she'll get 2 free throws tonight for Facel. She is 2 for 4 from the penalty stripe with 8 points. Megan Earl into the game, as that was Ellie Miller's 5th foul, and she is done for the evening. She exits with 2 points. First free throw from Facel misses its mark. She'll get another opportunity here. The freshman in the starting lineup most of the season, while Northcutt had been out. But now Facel coming off the bench and scoring 8 points tonight as she misses both free throws. Scappoose with the rebound. She puts it back up and in. Hard work on the glass and a good finish there from Annie. Makes it a 53-46 game. 3:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Stoddard kicking it over to Leao. Leao from about 10 feet floats one in. Nice shot there by Sydney Leao. 53-48, 3:18 to go in the fourth as Annie Campos enters your screen there on that left side. Annie moving right, lofting it near side to Lily. 4-3 is no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Possession stays with Henley. And we've got some subs coming in for the Hornets. It'll be Senya Campos and Jewel Northcutt in for Maya Mock and Holly Parker. Hornets to inbound. Facel lofting it to the cutting Senya Campos, and she gets fouled. And so that will send Senya to the line. She's 0 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Free throw is no good, just missed wide left. And so Senya, another freshman on this Hornets roster, will take a second free throw here. Here's the shot. That one rims out, no good. The rebound is collected by Earl. Earl trying to shove it ahead to Stoddard, but the pass knocked out of bounds by Annie Campos. It will remain Indians basketball. Inbound pass finds its way to Lennox in the backcourt. Lennox guarded by Facel all the way up the floor. Now driving down low, kicks it near side to Leao. 4-3 is good. Leao with her second triple of this half makes it a 2-point ball game. 53-51, 2:43 to go in the fourth. Annie Campos driving along the near side. She is tied up. She has a triple team headed her way, finds Northcutt. Northcutt with a floater, that won't go. Anna Harper with the rebound, the putback attempt no good. Campos finally on the third opportunity scores. Now it's 55-51. Here's Lennox, passing it near side to Earl, guarded by Campos. Earl at the free throw line with the floater, rims out no good. Campos with the rebound. She has it knocked out of bounds. Possession, Scappoose. And we're going to have a conversation about this one with the officials. The ref in the backcourt was saying something else. And so the Hornets called a timeout while Campos was trapped, so the ball didn't go out of bounds. It'll be Hornets basketball. We've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take one too. 55-21. 2:11 to go in the fourth.
This was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop after basketball game. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
4-point ball game. It's OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A girls basketball on mybasin.com. 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and it's a 4-point game. 55-51. The Hornets have the lead and possession of the basketball as it'll be Facel to inbound to Annie Campos. Campos takes her time, bringing it into the front court. Takes a screen, set by Harper. Campos driving to her right, kicks it out to Facel. Facel now taking it left, top of the key, kicks it to Senya Campos. Senya well beyond the arc, driving left, finds Facel beyond the arc. Facel driving baseline, finds Annie, top of the key. Annie driving down low, step to the rim, and it's good. Annie Campos cooking up something in this second half. 57-51, here's the Indians. They've answered back on every bucket here in the fourth quarter. Stoddard answers. She's there for it. Stoddard, a nice fourth quarter. She's got 14 points tonight. 57-53, a minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter. Campos coming to the near side, kicks it to Senya Campos. A triple is no good. The rebound is collected by Earl. Earl lofting it ahead to Lennox. Lennox bouncing it over to Stoddard, outside to Leo. 4-3, won't go. The rebound is collected by Facel. Facel kicking it to Campos now, a minute 5. Hornets trying to slow down the pace, kicking it to Senya Campos. Back to Annie. Now to Facel on the near side, kicking it to Annie, top of the key. 53 seconds to go. Annie driving down low. Bounce pass is good to Anna Harper. That's a big bucket for the Hornets. It's now 59-53, 6-point ball game, 42 seconds to go. Drive on the other side is no good. Rebound is collected by Earl. Kicks it out to Lau. 4-3, won't go. Another rebound is collected by Ross and Scappoose on the far side to Earl. She shoots a triple. That one's no good, and the rebound is collected by Campos. 26 seconds. Campos kicks it ahead to Northcutt, and she is going to take a layup. It's good, and the Hornets open up a 9-point advantage. Pass to Earl. Near side three. Won't go. 10 seconds to go. The Hornets with the rebound. 7 seconds to go now, and another shot from Lau. That won't go. Annie Campos with the rebound, and the Hornets are headed to Forest Grove High School. They have advanced to the Elite Eight. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Basketball Playoffs. We'll be back with post-game coverage next on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's right here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches, schools, and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Final score from Henley High School this afternoon in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Girls Playoffs. The Henley Hornets have booked a trip to the Elite Eight in Forest Grove High School as they took care of business against Scappoose 61-53. The leading scorer tonight, Annie Campos, with 30 points. Also for the Hornets, 8 points tonight from Anna Harper and Lily Facel, 4 points from Jewel Northcutt, 2 from Kennedy Modine, and 2 from Senya Campos. For the Scappoose Indians, they were led in scoring by Sydney Leao with 17 points, 14 for Addie Stoddard, 7 from Megan Earl, also 3 from Ava Vetch, and 2 from Ellie Miller as they end their season with an overall record of 16-10, and the Hornets will advance to play the Marshfield Pirates. That game will happen at 3:15 on Thursday at Forest Grove High School. All your tournament information can be found on OSAA.org. Grab your details there as the Hornets are Elite 8 bound, 61-53. We're going to take a brief intermission on the broadcast. Don't go anywhere if you're planning on staying for the Astoria versus Henley boys playoff game. That's going to take place in just about 15 minutes. We'll be back with pregame coverage of that one next on mybasin.com. Final score in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union Girls Playoffs. Henley 61, Scappoose 53. We'll be back. And a very pleasant good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports, also online on mybasin.com. Today, the 5-seed Henley Hornets taking on the 12-seed Astoria Fishermen. Pleasure to be with you. My name is Josh Eldridge. Kevin Petrick joining us momentarily on the broadcast as we come to you live from inside the Hornets' Nest on the campus of Henley High School, just a few miles south of downtown Klamath Falls for this playoff matchup. The 12-seed Hornets on a win streak, 8-0 in conference play, and the Astoria Fishermen have won 3 of their last 4 on their way out of the Kawapa League to earn the 12 seed in the OSAA state playoffs. As we continue your pregame coverage, we're going to take a look at the boys bracket, all the games being played today, so we'll give you a rundown of who's playing who, when, and where on OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoff basketball. Continuing next on 104.3 and 960 Sports, HD video this afternoon on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. It's the third year.
During the Les Schwab Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our community. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. Your continuing coverage this afternoon of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. Coming to you from Henley High School. My name is Josh Eldridge. Along with me is Kevin Petrick, ready for the call this afternoon. And a lot of games happening today. In fact, all of the games happening today in the round of 16. Aside from our own game here, which is the 5th seed Hornets taking on 12th seed Astoria. Starting in about an hour, we're going to have the 9-seed Staten Eagles taking on the 8-seed Crook County Cowboys. Also later on today, 4-seed Baker against Madras. The winner of that one will play the winner of this one here today. Number 1, Philomath taking on a familiar foe from the Skyline Conference. The Hidden Valley Mustangs earning the 16 seed in the playoff bracket. On the other side, we're looking at the Dalles taking on Cascade in the 14 versus 3 matchup. The 6th-ranked Seaside Seagulls hosting Marist this afternoon at 6 o'clock. North Marion, the 7th seed, taking on Gladstone. And the 2nd-seeded Junction City Tigers battling LeGrand. That game tips off in about an hour as well. 2 versus 15 in that one. And Kevin, this Astoria team here today after taking care of business at home against a team we know well, the Mazama Vikings. They won last week 52-42. So we've got some common opponents between these two squads at Astoria. Coming from the coast, they've come here to play, no doubt, against a Hornets team which has won 8 straight.
Yeah, that Mazama game last week, it gives you a little point of reference because, of course, we've seen them a few times this season, and that game was tight right down to the end. It was a 10-point win, but it was one of those. It was a lot closer in the last minute than some free throws at the end made it a 10-point game. So Astoria has some good shooters. They have good athletes they can play. And Henley's right where they want to be. They earned that home game, and we'll see how it pans out for them today.
They've also been here before. I mean, you look at last year
Right.
when Henley was the 8th seed hosting 9th seed Staten. They were beat right here on their home floor by just a couple of points, hoping to avoid that today. I don't know if that's something you talk about during this week in practice, probably just focusing ahead. But look, Henley's been here before. Astoria hasn't in the last couple of seasons. And so experience could be a key factor for these guys tonight, too.
Yeah, that's a good point, Josh. And that's something you don't even need to talk about. Kids play 30 games, go through a playoff run of any kind. That's experience you bring with you. You just can't duplicate that in practice or anything. So most definitely, Henley will have the advantage as far as experience.
The Astoria Fishermen coming to us from the Kawapa League as they finished second behind the Seaside Seagulls, 16-9 overall. Seaside topped that league 19-4. Meantime, our Henley Hornets, Skyline Conference League champions, 8-0, a perfect run through the conference, 15-6 overall. Klamath Union, Hidden Valley, and Mazama all seeing postseason action, but only the Hornets and the Mustangs remain. Again, for more information on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs, you can visit OSAA.org. And before we go to one last break here in the pregame show, worth mentioning for those of you listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports that the Henley girls took care of business earlier today, punched their ticket to Forest Grove High School to take on the Marshfield Pirates, 3:15 on Thursday. Again, details on the girls bracket can be found on OSAA.org. The Hornets looking to make it a perfect 2-for-2 on a doubleheader on a snowy Saturday afternoon in Klamath Falls. We'll be back with starting lineups and tip-off next as we continue your coverage of the state playoffs on mybasin.com, also on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to have friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And we welcome you back to our continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Also mybasin.com. The Astoria Fishermen, the 12 seed, coming into this afternoon's matchup against the 5 seed Henley Hornets. Josh Eldridge with you along with Kevin Petrick as we are just about ready to meet the starting lineups this afternoon from Henley High School. And as Mr. Bob Chambrose does the public address for the OSAA Code of Conduct, we'll remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Refuel after the game at Mountain Mike's Pizza. You've earned a pizza made with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be. Also, all OSAA On Point Community Credit Union broadcasts on the OSAA network are brought to you by Pacific Office Automation and your local Toyota dealer.
Let your good sportsmanship show during today's game.
Pretty good turnout for a Saturday here at Henley High School as we get ready to meet the starting lineup first for the Astoria Fishermen. Starting a junior, number 2, Owen Williams.
Junior number 2, Owen Williams.
Also number 3, Nico Boudreau, a senior. Number 5, a junior, Beck Olson. Number 10, a senior, Connolly Frumwiller. And number 13, Merrick Benesh, a junior. Head coach is Alex Otero, assisted by Paul Jarrett. And now we're going to meet the starting 5 for the Henley Hornets as we turn out the lights inside the nest. Starting at the wing, it's number 10, a senior, Owen Sheen. At the guard position, it's number 12, a senior, Blaine Boersma. At the other wing position, it's number 14, a senior, Shaw Stork. At the other guard position, number 24, a junior, it's Luke Bennett. And the big man down low, number 44, it's Marcus McCready. The Hornets are coached by Luke Hammond and assisted by Thomas Lodi. Hornets tonight in their home white uniforms. Astoria wearing their road purple uniforms with black numbers on their front and back, yellow trim. As we are just about ready for basketball this afternoon from Henley High School. Marcus McCready in for the tip along with Boudreau, and the tip is collected by the Hornets. It looks like Stork has control. Still a loose ball, finally picked up by the Fishermen. All right, now it's passed near side to Benesh. Benesh kicks it top of the key over to Williams. Williams now near side to Olson. Olson kicking it far side over to Boudreau. Now it's handled by Frumwiller, kicked over to Benesh. Benesh guarded by Sheen, top of the key. He's going to kick it over. Now it's handled by Williams, top of the key. Williams bringing it right, now fakes left. Terminates the dribble at the free throw line, kicks it near side to Olson, driving the lane, kicks it outside for a mid-range jump shot. That's Swiss for Astoria. They strike first. Now the Hornets quickly onto the other side. That was Boudreau for the points. It's Luke Bennett now top of the key. Trying to find Sheen for a mid-range fadeaway jump shot. Hits high off the rim. It's no good. And Olson with the rebound for Astoria. Coming up into the front court, it's Benesh kicking it outside to Olson for 3. Hits high off the rim, no good. And McCready with the rebound. Bennett kicks it over to Boersma, who takes it into the front court for the Hornets. It's 2-0 Astoria, 6:56 to go on the first. Boersma kicks it over to Stork. Stork puts it on the deck, now finds Bennett top of the key. Bennett driving the right lane, kicks up a mid-range jump shot. That's no good, and the rebound collected by Olson. Now Astoria kicking it out to Frumwiller. Frumwiller finding the player in the far corner, driving the baseline. The shot bothered by McCready. They're going to say that he fouled, and that will send Williams to the penalty stripe.
Henley starting out with their man-to-man. They've done that all year. And Henley's not going to, there's no secrets with this team. I'm sure Astoria knows. Henley's going to play a strong, aggressive man-to-man. On offense, they're going to pass the ball quickly and try to keep the pace up.
As a team this year, the Hornets averaging 7.8 steals. And leading the charge is Blaine Boersma, averaging almost 3 steals per game. Look for the guard to get active as this game continues on. The first free throw from Williams is no good. He'll get a second. Second free throw on the way for Williams. That one is good. So the Fishermen have a 3-0 lead. Pass into the front court to Sheen. Sheen, a mid-range jumper, throws it at the rim. It won't go. The rebound is collected by Benesh. Benesh bringing it up for Astoria. Terminates about 14 feet away from the rim, throws up a shot that won't go, and Sheen with the rebound, a whistle. And they're going to call that foul on Benesh. That'll be the first team foul for Astoria.
Good effort from Owen, picking up that rebound and drawing the foul.
And Boersma now brings it up for the Hornets, kicking it over to Stork on the far side. Stork beyond the arc, trying to drive inside, lofts up a floater and banks it in. Shaw Stork striking first for the Hornets tonight. It's now a 3-2 ball game that Astoria leads. All right, Benesh kicking it near side to Boudreau. Boudreau finding it top of the key to Olsen. Olsen kicking it outside to a shooter beyond the arc on the far side. It's back to Olsen. Olsen, top of the key, has an open look from the mid-range. It's no good. It's Boersma with the rebound. Lost it into the front court for Sheen. Sheen driving the right baseline, and a blocking foul is going to be called against Astoria. And that's going to be charged to Williams.
What made that happen was a good outlet. Henley's very good at that. Quick rebound and a long outlet pass down the floor. Give Henley a chance at an easy basket.
Cannon Huber into the game for Astoria. Henley with the ball. Inside to Sheen. He throws up a floater that rattles home. Henley takes their first lead of the night, 4-3. 5.5 to go in the first.
Good team passing there by Henley.
All right, now for Astoria, it's Benesh. Benesh driving against Sheen. With it now is Huber. Huber kicks it to Benesh. Benesh driving that left lane, throws up a shot, and he's fouled. And so that will send Benesh to the line for a pair.
Bennett trying to contest that shot. Pushed him out of the way just a little bit. He'll be shooting 2.
Today's broadcast on mybasin.com, brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Both free throws good for Benesh, gives his team a 5-4 lead over Henley. 5:11 to go in the first. Boersma taking along the right side, terminates the dribble beyond the arc, kicks it to Stork, who zips it to Bennett. Now back to Stork, top of the key. Sheen now trying to drive that right lane, lofting it near side to Boersma. Boersma beyond the arc, going to kick it to Bennett. Now Sheen in the far corner, gets it down to Marcus, and they're going to charge a foul to Boudreau, getting a little handsy with Marcus down low.
Henley's man-to-man defense, they'll play tight and aggressive. Astoria, they tend to sag a little bit. They'll give you that three-pointer and make you show that you can make it. Little less pressure from Astoria's defense.
Sheen to inbound underneath the Henley rim, lofts it high to Marcus, who kicks it to Boersma, top of the key. Now to Bennett, catch and shoot triple is no good. Stork with the long rebound in the near corner. Stork trying to drive the left baseline, lofts it into Bennett down low, who converts at the rim.
That was a great pass. Some good cutting by the Hornets, and Shaw found him open.
6-5, Henley leads, 4.5 to go in the first. Those are the first 2 points of the night for Bennett. All right, now coming to the near side, it's Williams. Williams is going to be tied up by Boersma. Possession goes to the Hornets after the held ball.
Good defensive play. Blaine right in the right spot. Got his hand on the ball, jump ball.
Boersma bringing it up the floor, crosses the timeline as passes it to Sheen on the near side. Sheen zips it down low to Boersma, cutting to the rim, and he scores.
Another cut to the hoop. Henley finding the holes in that defense here early.
8-5, and Henley leads Astoria. 4:10 to go in the first. Williams kicking it near side to Field, who's checked into the game for the Fishermen. Field spinning to his left, off 1 foot, rolls out, no good. Bennett cleans the glass for the Hornets. Kicks it ahead to Boersma. Boersma on the left wing. Going to kick it to Stork. Now to Bennett in the far side. Bennett bouncing it on to McCready on the right block. Up off the glass, no good. Stork right there for the putback, and he converts.
That was good weak side position by Shaw Stork. Easy putback.
Henley leads 10-5 as Astoria calls timeout. We'll take 1, 2. 3:43 to go in the first in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
It's the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com. 10-5 in the Hornets lead, but it's Fisherman basketball. With it now on the far side is Frumwiller. Frumwiller trying to drive the right wing, kicks it near side to Williams. Back to Frumwiller. Frumwiller on the right wing. Takes a screen going to his left. and is going to kick it to Williams, who drives down low, and the shot bothered by McCready. Rebound Hornets, and Boersma pushing the pace for Henley. Boersma driving to the rim, and he is fouled on the shot. That will earn Blaine 2 free throws.
Offensively, Henley is moving. They won't stop moving, doing a really good job of cutting and being aggressive to the hoop. And they're making a little run here as they lead by 5.
Aiden Hayes into the game for Henley is Lewis Bennett, who took a seat on the bench. First free throw from Boersma is good. 11-5, Henley lead.
On the floor for Astoria, number 20, Quinn Gore.
We're also going to have Benton Moore on the floor for Astoria as the second free throw is good from Boersma. He's got 4 points tonight. Moving up the far side of the floor, it's now Gore with it, pardon me. He's who's checked into the game. With it now is Huber. We're over to Gore. Gore in that far corner, bouncing it over to Boudreau. And a foul, or pardon me, I think it was Gore who stepped out of bounds. It'll be Hornets basketball.
Yeah, good defense there, forced the ball out of bounds. Go to Henley.
Hayes with it now on the far side, kicks it to Stork. Stork at that left wing finds Sheen. Sheen now at the free throw line, spinning to his right. Step to the rim is denied. The ball goes out of bounds. Possession remains with the Hornets after the blocked shot.
See what play Coach Hammond calls here. Henley with a definite size advantage. Marcus by far the tallest player out there.
Sheen dumps it down low to Stork. Pump fake up with the shot, and it's no good. The rebound is collected by Boudreau. Pass into the front court for Astoria. Finds its way finally to Boudreau. Boudreau over to Huber. Now it's Field with it on the far side. Field at the left elbow. Kicks it out to the far side corner. Driving down low before bouncing it back outside to Huber. Catch and shoot three is no good. The rebound is collected by Gore, who goes back up with the shot, no good. Long rebound collected by Field. He's driving to the rim and gets hacked by Marcus.
That was a good move to the basket by Field for Astoria. He went right at McCready and was able to get him off balance a little bit and draw the foul.
2 shots coming up for Judd Field, the seniors. We remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness. They've got the most understanding personal trainers that you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness want you to lose those reins and get your gains. First free throw is good, so the score now 12-6 with 2:03 to go in the first. Here's the second free throw from Field. That one's also good. So we've got a sub coming in for Astoria as Beck Olson checks back in for Boudreau. And Owen Harper into the game for the Hornets. Boersma gets it to Hayes, cutting to the rim, strong with the right hand, and finishes Aiden Hayes with 2 points.
Another basket from the result of a good cut.
14-7. And the Hornets lead with 1:44 to go on the first. Loose ball is collected on the far side by Frumwiller. Frumwiller top of the key, pardon me, that's Benesh. All right, now it's Fields with it. Field driving down low, loses the dribble, bouncing it back outside. Now the pass goes over to Olson. Olson getting it down low to Field. Field backing down Boersma, turn away, jump shot's good.
That was a nice post move down low by Field.
Here's Boersma with it now into the front court, kicks it to Stork. Stork, an open lane at the rim. The floater is no good, but he's fouled. And so Stork earns 2 free throws.
Henley has a plan for sure. They are really moving toward the basket. We're not seeing spot-up jumpers, and we're not seeing post-up plays at the rim. We are seeing cutting and diving to the hoop. And it's worked so far.
Stork's first free throw misses its mark as Chris Janney checks in for Blaine Boersma. Shaw, second look at the penalty stripe. That one rattles home. It's 15-9, 1:09 to go in the first. Taking it up the floor now is Quinn Gore. Gore loses the handle, saves it from going out of bounds. And Astoria maintains possession. With it now is Field. Field kicks it near side to Benesh. Benesh top of the key. Steps back beyond the arc, picked up by Janney. 51 seconds to go. Benesh driving against Janney. Kicks it near side to Olson. Olson to the rim and scores over Owen Harper.
Nice drive of his own there from Olsen. 4-point lead for the Hornets.
Stork crosses to his left, driving to the rim, has the shot bothered by Gore, but he's going to foul Stork. So Shaw, 2 more opportunities at the free throw line.
We're not seeing a lot of position in the path of the dribbler, so that's why we're getting all these fouls. No one's taking a charge. 9 fouls in this first quarter between the two teams.
6 for Astoria so far, 3 for the Hornets. Stork's first free throw is good. The second one with the same result makes the score 17-11. Henley leads with 35 seconds to go in the first. Here's Gore bringing it up the floor. Gore guarded by Stork on the far side. Now it's Olsen with it. Olsen finding Field. No, fakes the handoff, dishes it to Boudreau. Boudreau beyond the arc, steps back, bothered by Janney. 19 seconds to go now in the first. Now it's Field with it on the left side wing. Field puts it on the deck, backs down at the free throw line, and a whistle away from the ball. And they're going to call this one on Harper, I believe.
That was away from the ball. A little physical.
Astoria basketball. It's bounced out to Olsen. Olsen driving the right baseline, terminates the dribble, trying to get it out, but the pass knocked out of bounds by Sheen. No, it's last touched by Benesh. It'll be Hornets basketball.
Some more good defense. Henley will have just under 6 seconds to try to score here at the end of the first quarter.
5 seconds to go as Bennett and Boersma check into the game for the Hornets. They're going to look for a shot with 5 seconds. Sheen inbounds to Boersma. 3 seconds now. Boersma with a half-court shot won't go. And we go to the second quarter with a score of 17-11, and the Henley Hornets are in front of the Astoria Fishermen in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week, and soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes, and then going Saturdays, I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband, and all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
14-3 or something.
Back into the action at Henley High School. It's the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs as the shot is taken and missed by Boudreau. Henley pushes the pace. It's 17-11 and the Hornets lead as we just start the second quarter. Boersma kicking it to Janney. Janney top of the key over to Bennett. Bennett getting it over to Boersma in the far corner. Catch and shoot three. Blaine a little bit too much on that one, but Janney collects the board. Here's Bennett now. Bennett guarded by Olsen, kicks it to Sheen, top of the key, down low to Marcus on the right block, up with the shot, no good. And the rebound is snagged by Olsen. It was Field with it, going to kick it into the far side for Williams. Williams loses the handle but recollects, finds Boudreau top of the key. All right, now it's Olsen on the near side, bouncing it to Boudreau, the pass knocked away by McCready, but it's picked up by Astoria. With it now is Williams. Williams on the far side. Driving on that left side. Kicks it over to Williams. Now it's Boudreau top of the key. Guarded by Bennett. The pass knocked out of bounds. Checking into the game is going to be Merrick Benesh for Beck Olsen. And from Willer to inbound. Finds Boudreau on the far side. Now it is Williams with it. Williams back to Benesh, guarded by Bennett. Now it's near side to Huber. Now over to Benesh, catch and shoot three, rims out, no good. Janney with the rebound. In front to Boersma, crosses the timeline for the Hornets. Boersma driving down low, and a charge as for Astoria. That is going to be, I want to say Williams in there taking the charge. It was. And so it's a turnover and Fisherman basketball.
Yeah, we mentioned that a minute ago. That's the first time we've seen someone get good position in there and take a charge. Well done.
Williams guarded by Bennett, driving to his left, spins around, finds Boudreau on the right side wing. Now it's over to Benesh. Benesh lofting it over to Fromwiller, and a whistle away from the bucket. That'll be against Sheen. And Fromwiller to inbound. Lofting it in to Boudreau. Boudreau guarded by McCready, trying to go against McCready down low, loses the dribble, gets McCready off his feet. The floater no good, and the rebound snagged by Bennett.
Two big guys really battling down to the last few possessions.
Here's Bennett now on the left wing. Takes a dribble inside the arc, kicks it to Sheen. Sheen just beyond the arc, top of the key. Fakes the handoff, driving right, kicks it out to Bennett on the far side wing. Now to Stork, cutting to the rim. Tries to bounce it back outside to McCready, but the pass taken away by the Fisherman. Now in transition, up with the shot. It's good for Huber. His first 2 points of the night. 17-13 with 5.5 to go in the second.
That's a good finish there from Huber. Kind of an off-balance shot. Cuts the lead to 4.
All right, here's Bennett with it now. Bennett puts it on the deck, kicks it over to Sheen. Sheen on the right side wing, now to Janney. Janney hands it to Bennett, top of the key, now to Stork. Stork finds Sheen on the far side. Sheen puts it on the deck, trying to drive that far baseline, now to Janney, top of the key, catch and shoot threes, wide left. Janney follows it up with his own rebound, trying to bounce it outside to Bennett, but the pass taken away by Huber. Huber against Sheen in transition, and Huber loses the dribble, possession Hornets.
Astoria is doing a little better job defending those cuts, and they forced Henley the last few times to take some jumpers and try to get at the post, and it hasn't been successful. They've cut into that lead a little bit.
17-13 the score, 5 minutes to go in the first half as Stork brings it up for Henley. Now it's Bennett. Bennett kicks it to Sheen on the far side, now to Stork. He tries to cut the far baseline, kicks it out to Bennett, near side three, won't go, and the rebound is collected by Olsen. Check back into the game for Astoria. All right, now it's Williams kicking it far side to Huber. Huber driving baseline, kicks it out to Benesh. Catch and shoot three is good. Benesh with 5 points tonight cuts the Henley lead to 1, 17-16, 4.5 to go in the second. Here's Stork, kicks it to Sheen. He fires a triple. That one won't go. Stork with the rebound, and the putback is good. And Coach Hammond is going to call time. We'll take 1-2. 19-16, Henley leads the Fishermen in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep refs and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. It's the third year.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back inside the Hornets' nest on the campus of Henley High School, just south of downtown Klamath Falls, for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. It's 19-16, and Henley leads Astoria. 4:15 to go in the second quarter. It's Benesh who is fouled by Hayes driving to the rim. Non-shooter, but that is the 7th team foul for Henley, so that puts Astoria in the bonus. And the first free throw is good. Go ahead.
I say Astoria much more controlled now on offense. They look a lot better than they did early in the game. That happens sometimes when road teams travel a long way. They kind of settled in, playing much better here.
Both free throws good, makes it 19-18. Henley leads. Now it's Janney with it on the near side. Kicks it to Bennett, top of the key, now to Stork on the far wing. Stork faking the handoff, kicks it out to Bennett. Head fakes a three, spins around, driving to the rim, up with the shot, and a foul called from the far official. And that will send Bennett to the line for 2.
Again, Henley having success when they drive. I don't think they've hit a jump shot, Josh. I think they're just having trouble. They need to stretch that defense out, make them earn that three-pointer. and they just haven't hit one yet.
And you made a point, I think it was in the first quarter, how Astoria was sort of, I wouldn't say baiting Henley into a shot, but they're willing to give up that jump shot and defend the paint.
Sure.
Henley creating that movement on offense allowed them to get to the rim, but we're not seeing that same movement here in the second.
Exactly. Once you make a few, that might change.
Bennett, good on one of his 2 free throws. Makes it a 2-point game, 20-18. Henley leads. Pass goes into the far side to Field, and his pass knocked out of bounds by Hayes. It will remain Astoria basketball with 3:46 to go in the second, and a 2-point game.
That was good help by Aiden over there. That wasn't his man, but he came over to trap. Knocked out of bounds.
To inbound is Huber. Huber is trying to inbound, but it's picked away by Sheen. Sheen in transition, tries to go up with the left hand, but he is fouled. And so Sheen will head to the line.
Good steal there from Owen. Didn't quite have the angle he wanted on the layup, but did draw the foul. So he'll get a couple free throws.
Third foul picked up by Williams. And Sheen's first free throw is no good. Checking into the game for Astoria is Judd Field and Quinn Gore. Sheen's second free throw on the way. That one rolls around the rim and drops. 21-18. Henley with a 3-point lead over Astoria. It's Gore with it now, trying to bounce it ahead, but the pass picked away by Hayes. Dribbles out of bounds. It'll be Astoria basketball.
He was just a step away from turning that into a breakaway layup. The ball just rolled out of bounds.
Gore to inbound at half court. Kicks it to Huber. Back to Gore. Gore bouncing it to Field. Back to Huber. Now near side to Olsen. Olsen trapped in the corner, trying to get rid of the pass, but McCready takes it away and dishes it to Bennett. Bennett now pushing the pace for the Hornets. Kicks it outside to Hayes. 4-3 is good.
There's the jumper Henley was looking for.
First 3 of the night for the Hornets as Astoria takes time. 24-18, 3:16 to go in the second. We've got more coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs next.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
We're back with you in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on mybasin.com as the Henley Hornets lead the Astoria Fishermen 24-18. 3:16 to go in the second. As we are ready for basketball, it'll be Astoria basketball coming out of the break. Kicking it ahead to Field, as Field will cross the timeline for Astoria. Field has it now, kind of trapped on the left wing, guarded by Sheen. Field puts it on the deck and gets fouled. And they're going to charge that to Bennett. Both teams in the bonus, and so that will put Judd Field at the line. He is 2 for 2 from the penalty stripe with 4 points total tonight. His first free throw is no good, so he doesn't get the second. And McCready gets the rebound. Dishes it to Stork, who brings it up for the Hornets. Underhand pass to Bennett, top of the key. Bennett dribbles with his right, kicks it to Stork on the right side. Now to Hayes, back outside to Stork. Now finds Bennett in the near wing. Back down to Stork on the left block. Gets it to Marcus, middle of the paint, and he converts. McCready with his first 2 points of the night. Loose ball. Sheen picks it up after the inbound. Sheen up with the shot, tries to bank it in. It won't go. Stork with the putback. It's good.
3 Hornets around the rim for that rebound. Good second chance point for Henley.
Hornets starting to break out the press against Astoria. Now it's Field in the near side. Kicks it to Boudreau. Now it's Olsen. Lofting it to Gore, top of the key. Bouncing it down low to Field, who goes up with the shot and finishes at the rim. Hornets pushing the pace quickly on the other side. Pass goes outside to Bennett for 3, no good. Hayes with the rebound, puts it hard on the deck, goes up for the putback, no good, but Marcus is there to clean it all up.
Henley really rebounding well the last minute or so.
30-20, Henley leads with 1:57 to go in the half. Bounce pass from Huber, finds its way to Gore. Gore bouncing it to Olsen, head fakes a three, trapped in the far corner. And the pass goes to Boudreau, mid-range jumper's no good, and Stork cleans the glass, kicks it ahead to Hayes. Hayes pushing the pace for Henley. Trying to take it himself, stops and pops from the mid-range, no good. McCready with the rebound, he puts it right back up and in. McCready 6 points all in the second quarter. His team up by 12, 32-20, with 1:27 to go in the first half. It's Olsen, no, the pass knocked away by Sheen. The Hornets have it again. Sheen passes it down low to Stork. He has his shot blocked by Olsen. All right, now it's Field for Astoria into the front court. He fires a triple. That won't go, and Sheen with the rebound. Kicks it to Bennett. Hornets with possession of the basketball. Stork feeds McCready down low. McCready on the right block. He gets fouled. As three fishermen there trying to take a shot at Marcus. He'll earn a free throw and one if he makes the first.
Henley now with a 12-point lead, and it's all pretty much due to second chance points and steals. A lot of steals on the defensive end, and then just really, really strong rebounding the last few minutes of this quarter.
Sheen with 2 steals just in this second quarter, averaging 1.6 on the season. So already in front of that for this game as Hornets have been making plays on defense. Marcus's first free throw is no good, so he won't get a second. Score remains 32-20. Under a minute now to go in the first half. Here's Field with it now on the right wing. Field takes it top of the key, bouncing it to Olsen. Olsen kicks it outside to Frumwiller. Frumwiller now over to Williams. Williams against Hayes. Williams trying to drive the rim, has his shot blocked by McCready. And now it's Stork with 39 seconds to go in the second. Stork trying to take it himself. Dishes it down low to Harper, who converts at the rim.
Good pass. Easy basket.
Pass comes near side for Frumwiller. Now on the far side to Boudreau. Boudreau stops at the left elbow, lofts it over to Field, guarded by McCready beyond the arc. Field stops at the free throw line, kicks it outside to Williams. Now 14 seconds left to go. And the shot is no good, and McCready with the rebound. 9 seconds to go now in the first half. Here's Stork into the front court for the Hornets. 4 seconds to go now. Stork with the floater at the rim, won't go. Tries to get the putback, but the shot is blocked, and we'll go to the locker rooms with Henley leading by 14. 34-20. We'll be back with halftime stats as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD Video on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watching. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. It's the third year.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us as communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Recognize some of our wrestlers who went to the state tournament
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports, HD video on mybasin.com for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. The Henley Hornets lead Astoria 34-20 after one half. The Hornets led in scoring by Shaw Stork with 9 points. Marcus McCready's got 6 tonight, followed by Aiden Hayes with 5. Owen Sheen's got 2 points. Luke Bennett with 3. Owen Harper with 2 for the Henley Hornets. Meantime, for Astoria, they're led in scoring by Merrick Benesh with 7 points. Judd Field has 6. 2 points for each Nico Boudreau and Cannon Huber, and 1 for Owen Williams on 1 made free throw. Brings us to a score of 34-20 this afternoon, and the Hornets really turned up the pace, not only on the boards, but also in transition on the defensive end. They started that second quarter and just turned it on.
Yeah, there was a definite change in the game. All of a sudden, Henley just got every rebound for about the last 4 or 5 minutes, and they both on both sides of the floor. Defensively, got the ball up the floor, got second chance points on the offensive end, and they stretched it out to a 14-point lead.
And it seemed Astoria was able to hold Marcus McCready in check for the first about quarter and a half, but you can't keep Henley's leading scorer down for long. He's got 6 points just in the third quarter, averaging 13 and change on the season. Look for him to keep making plays.
Yeah, he does so much in there for Henley. It's not in the stat book, but he'll change shots and he'll make passing difficult. And Astoria has been going through their bench, rotating players. None are as tall or as big as Marcus. So I expect him to have a pretty good second half.
34-20, the score at halftime, as the Henley Hornets are in front of the Astoria Fishermen. We're going to take a break here on the halftime show. When we come back, we'll take a look around the state, see if we can find any score updates of other games happening in the area, and just recap you on the bracket of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Still halftime today at Henley High School as the Hornets lead the Fishermen 34-20 in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. As we take a look at some of the other games going on around the state this afternoon, we are the only show in town right now, but other games happening today will start at the top of the bracket as Philomath, the top seed in the state, getting ready to take on Hidden Valley. That game tips off at 6 o'clock tonight. In about a half hour, number 8 Crook County plays Staten in the 8 versus 9 matchup. Again, that game tips off at 3 o'clock. The winner of this game will take on either Baker or Madras in the 4 versus 13 matchup. And then on the other side of the bracket, we've got Cascade, the third best team in the state, holding home court against the Dalles. That game tips off at 5. Seaside plays Marist in the 6 versus 11 matchup. And then the 7th-ranked North Marion Huskies taking on Gladstone before Junction City tips off here in about a half hour against LeGrand, 2 versus 15 in that respect. Now, the winner of this game advances to play on Thursday at 3:15 at Forest Grove High School, and they will play either Baker or Madras. And again, the only other Skyline Conference team left in the boys is Hidden Valley taking on Philomath. Again, that game tips off at 6. If you're looking for broadcast coverage of any of these games, or you just want to take a real look at the bracket, you can visit osaa.org, and they're going to have all the information for you, not only for the boys bracket, but for the girls as well, not only for the 4A, but all the way up to 6A, all the way down to 4A as well. I guess those are the only state tournaments left going on this weekend. We've got the 3A versus 3A, 2A, 1A Elite 8s happening right now. Broadcast coverage of those also available on OSAA.org. Everything on the OSAA radio network is brought to you by Pacific Office Automation and your local Toyota dealer. As we'll take one more break in the halftime show today, 34-20, and the Henley Hornets are in front of the Astoria Fishermen as we get ready for the third quarter on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. Know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want children to have everything they need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
We welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports with live HD video on mybasin.com. Josh Eldridge along with you, Kevin Petrick as well. Appreciate you joining us wherever you are in the state of Oregon, whether it's right here in Klamath Falls, up in Astoria, or anywhere around the state. Appreciate you joining us on this Saturday afternoon as the Hornets start with possession here in the third quarter. It's going to be Boersma coming along the near side. Boersma kicks it over to Sheen. Sheen now to Stork, top of the key, zipping it down to Marcus, who can't corral the pass. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Fisherman basketball.
That was a pretty good pass. Marcus just mishandled it a little bit. And Astoria will get the turnover.
Owen Williams takes the inbound for the Fishermen as he brings it into the front court for Astoria. Kicking it over to Olsen. Olsen trying to drive to his left, kicks it over to Boudreau, and now it's Benesh. Benesh guarded by McCready beyond the arc. Bouncing it to Boudreau, top of the key. Now over to Olsen. Olsen takes a screen going left, has an open look at three and splashes it. The first point of the second half. It's a triple for Olsen. It's Boersma now on that left block, has it knocked away, and the ball picked up by Williams. Williams stutters across the half-court line, kicks it down low to Benesh, who goes up with the shot and converts. Astoria with 5 straight points to open up the second half. They trail 34-25. Here's Boersma with it now, kicks it to Bennett, top of the key. Bennett lofts it over to Boersma on the far side. Boersma now to Stork, top of the key. Stork getting it over to Sheen. Sheen over to Bennett. Bennett head fakes the mid-range jumper, kicks it over to Boersma on the right wing. Boersma takes a few steps back beyond the arc before driving inside, terminates a dribble, kicks it to Bennett, head fakes a three now to Stork, top of the key. Back outside to Bennett on the left wing. Bennett tries to get it to Boersma down low, driving to the bucket, and Boersma with a little reverse layup to get his team 2 points, 36-25, 6.5 to go in the third. Now it's Astoria with it. Pass comes to the near side for Benesh. His shot no good. And it's Stork to clean the glass. Stork shoving it ahead to Boersma. Boersma taking a step to the rim, kicking it out to Bennett, who can't corral the pass. A turnover. And Fisherman basketball with 6:06 to go in the third.
We'll see if Astoria tries to shoot their way back into the game. We've seen some teams try to do that with Henley, maybe shoot some threes. Hasn't worked very often. Sometimes, though, you can close the gap. We'll see what they do here.
Benesh going to kick it over to, well, now it's Boudreau has it. He fires a triple, and he nails it. Boudreau with a triple. He's got 5 points tonight. His team trails 36-28. It's Sheen with it now on the near side to Boersma. Boersma kicks it over to Stork. Stork down low to Sheen, who jumps from about 8 feet and knocks it down. Back up to a 10-point game, 38-28.
Nice body control, little jump in the air and turn. Sheen makes the basket.
4 points tonight for Sheen after that make as it's Benesh with it. Takes a step to his left, now trying to drive left baseline, and he's fouled on the shot.
Astoria trying to just generate offense as quickly as they can. They trail by 10 here in the third.
Benesh at the line for a pair. He's a perfect 4 for 4 tonight. Make it 5 for 5 after that make there.
Astoria trailed by 14 at the half. They've already cut into that lead just a little bit. They trail now by 8.
Second free throw was good, 38-30, 5:20 to go in the third. Bennett lofting it to Boersma, top of the key. Boersma kicking it to Sheen. Now back to Boersma on the near side. Finds McCready on the right block, trying to back down Benesh. The shot's no good. And it's Astoria basketball as the Fishermen pushing the pace up the far side of the floor. Pass goes to Olsen. Olsen driving to his left, a left-handed layup. That was a nice shot. It falls.
That was a tricky shot. Got the roll. Lead down to 6.
Stork zipping it over to Boersma. Spins to his right. His shot blocked by Boudreau. Now it's the Fishermen again trying to keep this momentum as it's Olsen. Top of the key, kicks it over to Benesh, who fires a triple. That one is no good. And Boersma is fouled on the rebound. Pardon me, that was Sheen who is fouled on the rebound.
Yeah, good position by Sheen there. And he draws the foul. Astoria getting a few takeaways here in the first half of the third quarter.
All right, here's Sheen. Inbounds it to Boersma. Boersma takes along the left side, kicks it to Sheen, top of the key. Now Bennett in the near corner. Bennett gets it down low to Marcus, tries to bank it in, won't go, follows it up with his own rebound, and a putback for McCready. Timeout is called by the Hornets. We'll take one as well to score 40-32, 4:17 to go in the third quarter. You've got Hornets basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
40-32, 4:17 to go in the third frame as the Hornets lead the Fishermen in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. With it now is Boudreau going right with it, top of the key, guarded by Boersma. Boudreau continuing to dribble to his right, kicks it to Field, who's checked into the game. Now pass goes over to Williams. Williams bouncing it over to Gore into the game now for Astoria. Gore driving baseline, tries to bounce it, but he steps out of bounds.
That's happened a few times where Henley has good position on the baseline and force their opponent out of bounds.
Not only in this game, but all season long,
Yes.
they've done a good job of making that baseline their sixth defender. And it looks like we've got a sub coming in for Astoria as Connolly from Willer comes in.
Henley's making an effort here, I think, to post up McCready and get him the ball. They've done that the last few times. And he scored on some second chance points. We'll see if they do that again.
Pass comes to Sheen in the near corner. Sheen back to Bennett, now to Boersma on the far side. Boersma lofting it into Sheen for the oop, but it was no good. And now it's Boudreau. Passing it to Boudreau in transition. His three was no good. And now it's Boersma. Boersma picking up the pace. Kicks it outside to Sheen. Now to Stork. Stork fakes right, cuts left, kicks it down to McCready, who's fouled on the shot.
They're looking for Marcus again. That time he got fouled.
Huber's second foul, and McCready getting his first look at the free throw line. Pardon me, his second and third looks at the free throw line as he's 0 for 1 so far tonight with 8 points. Here's the first free throw. It's good for McCready. 41-32, 3:24 to go in the third. Judd Field into the game. Boudreau on the bench. Also, Cannon Huber for Astoria. Here's the second free throw. That one rattles home. 10-point lead for the Hornets as McCready comes out, and TJ Chavez getting his first action here in the playoffs.
Henley showing press here defensively. Trying to create a turnover.
It's going to be Benesh to bring it up for Astoria. Benesh spins to his left, kicks it outside to Field beyond the key. Now to Benesh. Benesh guarded by Sheen. Moves to his right, back out beyond the arc, now picked up by Chavez on the switch. Benesh kicking it out to Frumwiller. Frumwiller to Gore on the near side. Getting it to Boudreau. Boudreau against Chavez. Outside to Frumwiller for three is good. 42-35, 2:53 to go in the third after that triple from Frumwiller. That's his first points of the night. Here's Hayes on the near side. Kicks it to Stork. Stork getting it over to Sheen. Sheen back to Stork, top of the key. Getting it to Boersma. Boersma across the court to Sheen. Finds Stork cutting to the rim. His shot is bothered, and it's no good. It's Astoria with the rebound. 2:29 to go in the third. 42-35. Henley leads. Here's Boudreau with it. Driving in low, and pardon me, that was Field as he's fouled on the drive.
Astoria has the green light. I like how their players, when they're open, they will take the shot. Whether it's a three or anywhere else on the floor, they won't hesitate.
Inbound pass goes to Field. And the shot is taken and made from Frumwiller. Back-to-back triples for him. And the pass down low to Stork. Kick back outside to Hayes. Now to Stork. Stork to Boersma on the near side. Boersma. Boersma kicks it to Sheen. Sheen back to Boersma. Boersma steps up to the arc, finds Hayes on the far side, gets it to Sheen, fires from 9 feet away from the bucket and drains it.
Another 8-footer from Owen Sheen. Made a couple of those tonight.
Here's Huber trying to bring it up and has it knocked away by Stork. Stork passing it to Sheen, who goes up with the left hand and finishes. The score 46-38 with 1:34 to go in the third. We've got time by Astoria. We'll take 1-2. You're watching our continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Back in the third quarter of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com as the Astoria Fishermen trail the Hornets and promptly turn it over as
that was just
an official.
That was just an unfortunate break for the Hornets as the ball hit the official.
Goes out of bounds. Yeah, so it's Astoria basketball as Frumwiller will inbound it into the backcourt to Gore. Hornets trying to pressure the basketball, and it works. Sheen with the takeaway, but can't get it to Chavez cleanly. Now it's picked up by Hayes. Hayes driving to the rim. High off the glass, won't go, and it's Field with the rebound for Astoria. Field bothered all the way up the floor, trying to drive down low. Kicks it outside to Frumwiller for another triple. 3 straight for him.
Big shooting quarter for him.
46-40. Here's Stork, top of the key. Stork crossing to his left, getting it to Sheen beyond the arc. He fires a triple. It's no good. The rebound is collected by Chavez, outside to Stork. Stork going to back out, take his time.
Astoria now playing zone in this third quarter, and it's helped them cut that lead from 14 to 6.
Stork kicking it to Hayes on the far side. Astoria defense starting to come out just a little bit, but now to Stork. The defense backs up, now to Hayes. Hayes kicks it to Boersma on the far side. 22 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Now it's Stork to Boersma, or pardon me, to Sheen with it on the near side. Hornets seem content to try and take the last shot of the third quarter, and Astoria content to give it to him. Stork kicks it back outside to Sheen, loses the handle, but Sheen recollects. Kicks it back outward to Stork, now 6 seconds and a foul.
That was just one of those situations where it got a little chaotic as the ball was bouncing around, and Henley just beat one of the fishermen to the loose ball, drew a foul.
Sheen finds Bennett in the far corner at the third quarter buzzer is no good. Boersma tried to get the putback, but will go to the fourth with a score of 46-40. One more quarter remains in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing. We're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, I lost my reins and got my gains.
It's time for the fourth quarter from Henley High School and our continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs as the Hornets lead Astoria by 6, 46-40. Here's Boudreau from the mid-range. That one rims out no good. Loose ball underneath the rim and a foul. They're going to call this one on Stork, so it'll remain Astoria basketball underneath the bucket. Boudreau collects the inbound, fires a triple that's just short. Stork controls the glass. Stork pushing it ahead. Is going to find Sheen in the near side. Dumps it off to McCready down low, who gets fouled on the shot. So Marcus, a couple of free throws coming his way.
Yeah, they're really looking to him more in this second half. With Henley, you always feel like it always starts with defense, and with this particular team. And when they get the steals and they get the transition game going, they are hard. They're hard to beat. And Astoria made a little comeback with the zone, clogged up that middle a little bit, didn't allow that cutting that was happening in the first half, and they've narrowed the score a little bit as they trail by 7.
McCready's first free throw was good. The second one, same result. Perfect trip for Marcus and 3 straight makes for him. 48-40 as Henley trying to press Astoria up the floor. Sort of a soft press as they don't get it up to problem, and a travel called on from Willer, who tried to jump to pass the ball but landed without getting rid of it.
Good pressure. That's just what you want from a little press like that. Force a mistake.
Here's Boersma taking along the far side. Dishes it to Sheen on the right side wing. Sheen puts it on the deck, lofts it over to Bennett, top of the key. Bennett finds Stork, now to Boersma on the right wing. Boersma beyond the arc, ball high above his head, zips it over to Sheen on the far side. Sheen stops, top of the key, kicks it to Stork on the left wing. Stork down to Bennett. A shot from 12 is good for Luke Bennett. Back up to a 10-point lead for the Hornets, 50-40, with just under 7 to go in the fourth quarter. Now it's Astoria being bothered by a tough Hornets defense. The shot from Benesh is no good. The rebound is collected by Astoria. The shot blocked by Sheen. And now it's Olsen trying to drive that far baseline. Kicks it outside to Boudreau. Sheen fouls him beyond the arc. Ooh, close one.
Yeah, some of the members of the crowd didn't like that call, but Owen blocking a lot of shots on that possession right there.
So that will send Boudreau to the line for 3 free throws. The first one is no good.
Astoria in a bit of a desperate situation now. They trail by 10 with 6 minutes to play. So we'll probably see their offense, the pace pick up just a little bit.
Here is the third free throw. That one finds its way home, so a 2-for-3 trip from Boudreau makes it 50-42 with 6.5 to go in the fourth. Here's Boersma kicking it to Stork. Now it's Boersma back to Stork. Stork takes it back out beyond the arc, kicks it to Sheen, top of the key. Sheen puts it on the deck, now to Stork. Stork zips it over to Bennett. Thought about a 3, now back to Stork. Backs back up, now to Bennett. Bennett gets it inside to Boersma, finds Stork cutting to the rim, but Stork takes it back out beyond the arc. 6:07 to go in the fourth. Bennett now to Stork. Gonna kick it back outside to Bennett and the Hornets. Playing a game of catch along the perimeter. Now over to Bennett on the far side. Bennett lofting it inside to Sheen, who's cutting to the rim, bounces it to Stork, back out beyond the perimeter. Now to Bennett. Bennett back to Stork, now to Bennett. Stork has it again.
Astoria's going to have to shift into a man-to-man here at some point, as Henley's just taking their time.
One Henley pass picked away by Williams. He scores in transition. And so now a 6-point game.
And they just made the switch.
And now they are playing exactly like you said, that man defense, and the ball goes out of bounds. Possession will go towards the Hornets. 6-point game. Bennett to inbound. Sheen gets it now, passes it to Stork, and Astoria back in the zone. Over to Boersma. Boersma is going to be fouled on the drive, and that is going to be Astoria's 6th foul.
We got a little bit of strategy going on here. Astoria wants to play in that zone. Sometimes they're forced to come out. We'll see how they finish this last 5 minutes, down 6.
McCready takes the inbound pass, gets it to Boersma. Now to Bennett for a corner 3. No good. And Sheen, I believe, is going to collect a foul there.
Yeah, he was trying to work on that weak side. Pushed off a little bit. Got caught down there. That's his 3rd foul.
15th foul for the Hornets as the score is 50-44 in the fourth quarter. Pass goes over, but it's taken away by Sheen, who has a clean look at the rim in transition and scores. Hornets defense turning up the pressure. Now it's Williams. Williams kicking it outside to Huber. Huber bouncing it. And a 3 is taken and missed. And that is Benesh who missed that jumper.
That was a good boxing out, just simple boxing out by Henley that time. They had 3 players under the hoop, controlled that rebound.
Boersma to take it up for the Hornets. Boersma. Sheen hits the deck away from the basketball, finds its way to McCready. Now it's Bennett, top of the key. Bennett kicks it to Boersma in the near corner. Now to McCready at the free throw line, kicks it to Bennett. Bennett down back to McCready, driving to the rim. Before the shot, McCready was fouled on the floor. That'll be the 7th Astoria foul, so Marcus is shooting 1 and 1.
Good possession by the Hornets. Trying to get close to the rim, get some easy hoops down the stretch. 4.5 left to play.
McCready's free throw is good, so he'll get a 2nd. We've also got a sub in for Astoria as Judd Field checks in. Comes in for Beck Olsen. McCready goes perfect from the line. Score now 54-44, 10-point advantage for Henley. And again, Astoria having trouble getting past half court as the pass goes to Benesh. Benesh to Williams. Williams back to Benesh, but the pass knocked away by Sheen. Benesh collects. Trying to loft it down low to Field. Field back to Benesh for a triple. It's good.
Fisherman really earned that basket. That was a tough possession, but they hung in there. Got the 3 ball.
54-47, the Hornets lead as Bennett has it now on the near wing. Bennett trying to get it down low to Marcus. Top of the free throw line. Marcus trapped, terminates the dribble, kicks it to Stork, now to Sheen. Sheen handing it to Boersma. Boersma going to work against Williams. Kicks it to Bennett. Bennett now driving right. Terminates the dribble, tries to get it to McCready and does. McCready back outside to Bennett. Bennett has the ball picked away by Field. Now it's Field working against Stork. Field goes to the rim, up off the glass, it's no good. Benesh with the rebound, takes it out beyond the arc and bounces it down low to Boudreau. Boudreau back outside to Benesh. Long triples, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Hornets basketball.
Astoria showing some signs of fatigue, Josh. Wouldn't you say look a little tired? Some people make a big deal about the altitude difference, and I think late in the game it does make a little bit of a difference.
I think you're definitely on to something about, what is it, almost 4,000 feet of difference?
Yeah, I think we're about 41. Yeah, we're about 4,100 here. Yeah.
Late in games, Astoria having to dig deep after Sheen was fouled. He'll head to the line.
Just over 3 minutes to play. Free throws will play a factor for sure.
Sheen shooting 1 and 1, misses his first opportunity, but Stork chases down the rebound, gets it to Sheen. Loose ball is picked up by, well, it's going to roll out of bounds. Oh, there's a foul on the near side.
I think Owen picked up his 4th there, just trying to scramble for that ball.
And you're right, that is Sheen's 4th, so Aiden Hayes going to check in for Sheen. And it's Astoria basketball in front of the Hornets bench. Inbound pass goes to Fromwiller. Fromwiller over to Boudreau. Boudreau back to Benesh. Takes a screen going right, but McCready switches on to him. Benesh kicks it over to Field. Field trying to drive right. Has a lane to the rim, and the shot is bothered by Boersma, but it's a foul. And so that will send Field to the line.
Good decision by Field. Had to step on his defender there. Just took it all the way to the hoop. Drew the foul.
All right, Field at the line for 2. As I remind you that this afternoon's broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. And Sheen checks back in. Bennett takes a seat on the bench. 2:42 left to go in the 4th, and the free throw is good. So the score, 54-49, as Boersma is fouled right away after the inbound pass and will head to the line shooting 1 and 1.
Yeah, Sheen has 4 fouls, but he's so valuable in that press that with 2.5 left, I can see why Coach Henley will take a chance. Let him play it out.
Field is out. Olsen back in for Astoria. Boersma at the line. His first free throw is no good, and that's all he'll get, but he follows it up with a steal. Loose ball underneath the rim, and
I count 6 players down.
Yeah, and a timeout by Astoria. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. So they're going to charge a foul to Stork, which will give Benesh a 1 and 1.
That was a pivotal play there with Astoria coming up with free throws.
2.5 to go in the ball game. 54-49. The first free throw from Benesh is good.
Game suddenly close. Lots of basketball left with 2.5 left.
Free throw from Benesh is good. And so a perfect trip at the line. He's made all of his free throws tonight. As now Astoria trying to press the Hornets. Hayes has it now on the right block. Kicks it to Sheen, top of the key. Sheen kicks it to Hayes. Hayes moving right, trying to drive right baseline. Kicks it outside to Boersma. Head fakes a three. Finds a lane to the rim. Up with the shot is good. A tough bucket from Boersma. And a timeout by the Hornets. We'll take 1-2. 56-51, 2:16 to go in the fourth. As we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
It's kind of what defined me as a person. I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, I want to see my high school. Those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Back with you courtside inside the Hornets' Nest on the campus of Henley High School as we are continuing your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. Right now, Henley up by 5, 56-51 with 2:16 to go in the final quarter.
That was a big hoop by Boersma there. You know, it's easy to tell your kids, take care of the ball, only shoot if you have a layup. Well, there's a lot of defense in between there, a lot of aggressive play. So that's exactly what Henley did. If you get an easy hoop, you want to take it. Otherwise, you want to run the clock, try to drain it as you lead by 5 here with just over 2 minutes to go.
Inbound pass is collected by Fromwiller. Fromwiller guarded by Boersma. And both defenses working real hard in the final minutes of this round of 16 matchup. Boersma with the steal, picks his pocket. Now in transition, Boersma can't finish. Sheen with the putback won't go. The third opportunity, no good either. And two players end up on the floor on the far side of the court. A foul. Let's sort this out.
Tough break for the Hornets. They had a breakaway chance to hit a two-pointer. A little layup. Didn't go. And now Astoria's at the line.
Hayes picked up the foul there. That's his second. Both teams sitting at 9 fouls. So one away from 2 free throws the rest of the way. First one is good from Benesh. And Benesh is 10 of 10 from the free throw line tonight after that make there. A 3-point differential, 56-53. Sheen can't corral the pass. It goes out of bounds.
Just an unforced error, unfortunate for Henley. We talked about free throws down the stretch, and Astoria is really shooting well. It's helped him get back into this game.
Benesh kicking it ahead to Huber. Huber moving right. 3-point differential, a minute 43. Hayes picks the ball away, but it's picked up by Benesh. Now back to Huber. Huber trying to drive the right wing. Kicks it outside to Field for a triple to tie. Won't go. Sheen with the rebound. Kicks it to Boersma. Boersma lofting it ahead to Hayes and the Hornets. Hayes trying to drive to the rim. Kicking it to Marcus, who finishes at the rim. Big bucket for Marcus.
Good pass.
And in transition, loose ball and a foul. And this is going to go against Boudreau, I believe. We'll see.
It was a pretty violent collision.
Yeah, Sheen and Boudreau got real tied up. Each player ended on the floor, and Boudreau is coming away with the foul and having a conversation with the VAR official on the way up the floor.
His third. 10-team foul.
A couple of big free throws here. Both teams in the double bonus. 1:18 left to play. Henley leads by 5.
Boersma at the line, shooting 2. The first one is good. Williams into the game for Field. Hornets trying to make it a 7-point game, and they can't. The loose ball is collected by Benesh. Benesh trapped in the corner, lofts it high to Olsen. Olsen puts it on the deck, kicks it to Williams. Williams back to Olsen, a minute 6 to go in the game. 6 points separate these teams. Olsen trying to drive to the rim, up with the shot, gets the bucket and the foul.
Olsen did a nice job, spotted a lane, didn't hesitate, drove it all the way, went up strong, got the hoop, and he'll get a free throw.
Big free throw here for Olsen. This is his first look from the penalty stripe. Here's Olsen. The free throw is good. 3-point ball game as we've got time. 59-56. A minute 1 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's coming down to it at Henley High School, so stick with us as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
Participate!
3 points separate these ball clubs. 59-56. Hornets in front of the Fishermen in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs. Hornets coming in as a 5 seed. Astoria the 12 seed. As the Fishermen have surged here in the fourth quarter to cut the deficit to 3.
You know, Josh, shooting free throws at the end of a game is hard anyway. But when you're in the playoffs and your season depends on it, it's just a lot of pressure. And it's going to be interesting down the stretch to see how it turns out.
Boersma inbounds to McCready. McCready trapped, finds Stork, who takes it up front for the Hornets. Now it's Hayes. Hayes up with the layup. It's good for Aiden.
Good drive, good finish.
Now Astoria trying to push the pace up the floor. Kicks it to Olsen for 3. Won't go. The rebound collected by Sheen, and he's fouled. So Owen to the line for 2.
That was a huge basket, that last possession. Getting a breakaway layup, extending that lead to 5.
Two free throws the rest of the way for both teams. As you mentioned, Kevin, free throws tough at the end of the game, but Sheen connects with his first.
Good pressure shot there.
Second one on the way. That one's also good. 63-56, 41 seconds to go, and Astoria has to work for these points. Olsen brings it up, kicks it to Williams. Williams at half court, brings it up to the arc, turns around, kicks it to Banesh in the near side. Banesh is fouled from beyond the arc. He'll be shooting 3.
And Owen Sheen will foul out of the game on that one, I believe.
You are correct. That is his 5th. And Banesh at the line right now, he is a perfect 10 of 10 tonight from the penalty stripe, although he's still got his biggest free throws in front of him, as Bennett checks in for Sheen.
He's a very, very good shooter, both in the field and from the line.
Banesh at the line. First is good. .28 seconds to go. Banesh's second free throw is good.
He's got a real easy stroke. Made 12 in a row? Is that right?
That was, 12 in a row. The score 63-58. The Henley Hornets lead with timeout on the floor. 28 seconds to go. We're going to stick with you through this timeout and just remind you that the Lady Hornets have already booked their trip to Forest Grove High School in the Elite 8 of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a girls basketball playoffs. They'll be taking on Marshfield 3:15 on Thursday. Now the winner of this game plays at the same time at the other gym. They use Pacific University, they use Forest Grove High School, and but congratulations to the Lady Hornets who have made it to the Elite 8. I believe it was first time since 2018 that they've made the trip.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun that game earlier. Good Scappoose opponent. Our kids played really well. You know, I wonder if they would change the game time. I'm not sure about that. If they would do that so the Henley fans could see both. We may see that. I'm not sure.
Could be.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes. Well, Hornets boys still have to finish out a close one here. 63-58, 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
No, certainly. Yes, this game is not over.
And Banesh has one more free throw to try to make it just a bit closer. Is that one? Finds its way home. The score 63-58. 5 points separate the two ball clubs. And Bennett is going to be fouled almost immediately. About 4 seconds off the clock.
They were a little slow putting that score up there, Josh. That last free throw made it 63-59. So it's a 4-point game.
That will also spell the end of the night for Beck Olson, who fouls out. He finishes with 10 points. Here's Bennett with a good free throw.
Nicely done.
Back up to 5 with 24.6 to go. Trying to make it a full 6 points. Second free throw from Bennett is no good, but the rebound is collected by Astoria. Field kicks it ahead to Williams. Williams over to Benesh. Benesh steps into a long three. That's good. My goodness, Benesh with a laser from range. 2-point ball game, 64-62, 12 and a half to go in the fourth. We're going to stick with you through this break as well. And
he is a good shooter.
Yeah.
He had a hand in his face. I mean, that was a contested three, kind of off balance. Just nailed it. So.
Perfect night from the line and 3 made triples. He's not letting his team go down easy. He had 7 in the first half and more here in the second half. Benesh, just a junior, having one heck of a first playoff appearance.
Yeah, playing really well down the stretch. Henley with 12 seconds to go. They lead by 2. They're still in control here. As Astoria will have to foul, so Henley will want to get the ball into one of their better foul shooters and just maintain possession and then go from there.
And still time on the clock as well for Astoria to maybe even try to go for a steal at first before committing to a foul.
Sure, that's what you tell your kids. You tell them, you know, go for the ball, try to get the steal. You might get it, and if you don't, you can foul quickly.
All right, 64-62, 12 and a half to go in the ball game, and the Hornets start with possession. It'll be McCready to inbound. Runs the baseline, kicks it to Boersma, who gets it to McCready. McCready back to Boersma, now back to Marcus, and they're going to loft it high to Boersma, who finally takes the foul after 8 crucial seconds drain off the clock. Boersma to the line for a pair.
Yeah, they were looking to keep the ball between Blaine and Marcus, 2 pretty good free throw shooters. And so Boersma will be at the line. He'll get 2.
Boersma's first is no good. And Astoria out of timeouts as well. Second free throw from Boersma is good. 3-point ball game, 4 seconds to go. Here's Benesh. Benesh racing up the floor. Shot for the tie, won't go! The Hornets hold on for a win, and they are headed to the Elite Eight to fight for a state title at Forest Grove High School. The final score, 65-62. We'll be back with post-game coverage on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement plan, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to Henley High School, the site of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A boys basketball playoffs. The Henley Hornets held on in a close one, 65-62, in a win over Astoria. The Hornets led in scoring by Marcus McCready. 14 points tonight for the big man, followed by 12 from Owen Sheen, 9 for Shaw Stork and Blaine Boersma, 7 for Aiden Hayes, 5 for Luke Bennett, and 2 for Owen Harper. Is how we get up to 65 for the Hornets. And for the Fishermen, even though they wound up just short, one heck of a night for Merrick Benesh. 24 points for Astoria's leading scorer, followed by 10 from Beck Olson, 8 for Judd Field, 7 for Nico Boudreau, 3 for Owen Williams, and 2 for Cannon Huber, your leading scorers tonight for both teams. As the Hornets, I think holding on is the right term for this game. That Astoria really made a hard push, especially in those last about 3 or 4 minutes. But Henley made just enough free throws to force Astoria into a tough shot for the win.
Yeah, it was a great finish. Hot shooting will get you a long way if you have a good player make a lot of shots, and that's what Astoria had today. But, I just sum up Henley is they're just solid. They're just solid. They have 6-7 players that'll all kind of spread out the scoring. And they're really good at executing their game plan, and they did just enough to keep that lead. And they're going to state. It's very exciting.
Yes, they've made it to the Elite Eight. We'll tell you who, we'll tell you where, we'll tell you when the Hornets will next play. And that's coming up after we take one more break on the post-game show as we continue our coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clownfall Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clownfall Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clownfall Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
And we're back with the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Boys Basketball Playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports, with coverage as well on mybasin.com. 65-62 the final as the Hornets advance to the Elite Eight, to the state tournament. They've got at least 2 more games coming their way. They are in the B slot for this one. We are awaiting the final from Madras and Baker. That game is going to start in about a half hour. So as you turn your attention to osaa.org, that's where you'll get updated on all of the playoff information for the state tournament. The Hornets, the first team to advance. We're waiting on 7 others to join us. But it was a good day for the Hornets as the girls advanced earlier today with the win over Scappoose. The boys advancing now as well. So let's just bring the whole town up to Forest Grove, man.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, it was a great day for Henley basketball. And, that's what we talked about all season. You try to get that home game, as many as you can in the playoffs before you head up to the Final 8. And if you ask me, I think both games today, being at home made a difference.
I agree.
Both teams are good home teams, and you don't have to travel. There's a lot of advantages, and both teams earned the right to play those games today, and it just worked out perfectly if you're a Hornets fan.
Now, game coming up on Thursday for the Hornets. We played at 3:15. Again, we're waiting on an opponent. But a couple of days between now and then, these practices for both squads, I mean, what kind of things happen here? Are we trying to turn up the pressure, or are we saying, okay, let's focus in on an opponent, some homework being done?
Yeah.
Or what's kind of the take for each of these teams heading forward?
Well, as far as your team, you're kind of at the mindset that, if it isn't fixed now, it's not going to get fixed. We're late enough in the season that we kind of do what we know we do. But on the other end, There'll be a lot of tape being watched. You'll find out who your opponent is, and you're really going to want to find out who their best players are, what's their tendencies, what do they not like to do, what kind of defense, that sort of thing. So a lot of strategy, not so much your team's in shape, your team knows what they do well. So you kind of focus on your opponent, and then you just try to get yourself in the best position to play on Thursday.
65-62 the final today at Henley High School. What a great afternoon of basketball it's been. Starting out with the Henley Lady Hornets taking care of business against Scappoose as well. This just about does it for us this afternoon, as we appreciate you for joining us on mybasin.com. Of course, you can watch Hornets basketball, or at least the previous portions of the season, on mybasin.com as we move forward throughout the state tournament. Unfortunately, won't be able to carry video for you. However, you'll be able to find video coverage of all the Henley games on the NFHS network with a pay-per-view fee. Of course, if you're here in Klamath Falls, you can always tune in for free on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We'll have an idea of what our schedule is looking like on Monday, so keep an eye on our 960 Sports Facebook page as well. Would like to thank a few of the folks who make tonight's broadcast possible. We'll start with all the head coaches, of course, Sarah Mann of the Scappoose Indians and Mr. Randy Denson of the Henley Lady Hornets. Also, Alex Otero of the Astoria Fishermen and Luke Hammond here at Henley High School, head coach of the boys basketball team and our resident athletic director, as well as Jesse Hamilton for getting us set up on this side of the gym this afternoon. Again, the final score, the Hornets headed to the Elite Eight, 65-62. For Kevin Petrick, this is Josh Eldridge saying good night from Henley High School.